The NAACP says the project has less than half of that. The new hospital is in Midtown and is expected to open in 2027. A St. Louis firefighter is thankfully okay after falling through the floor of a burning vacant building in North City. This happened overnight Wednesday in the Mark Twain neighborhood. Firefighters say this same home has burned twice just this year, adding that the fires that are happening at vacant buildings tends to ramp up when it's cold because, of course, people are breaking in trying to stay warm. Well, Channel 4 talked to the property owner who had this message for the squatters. He says, go get a job, get some money, and stop popping up in vacant homes. In sports, a much-needed win for the Blues. Final score against the Jets last night, 1-0. And it is the Rams and the Seahawks for Thursday Night Football. I know many of you don't like the Rams, but for those interested, kickoff 7:15. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
We have a cold front and back to the northwest flow today. Cloudy, some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Focus on the rain this morning and early afternoon. Windy from the northwest this afternoon. So the warmest part of the day this morning, 55 degrees, falling to 45 by sunset. Tonight, partly cloudy, windy, and cold, down to 21. Friday, sunny and cold, 38. 56 on Saturday, 43 on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
53 degrees now at 5:05. You can listen to the Marc Cox Morning Show or any other show on 97.1 FM Talk anytime or anywhere. Just download the free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Good morning to you. Welcome into the Marc Cox Morning Show. It's a big day here. That's all I can say. I know it's a Thursday. It's just a normal day to many of you, but for us, it is a day of celebration. Today is the birthday of one Kimberly St. Ange. Kim, happy birthday!
No, thank you.
Happy birthday!
Thanks.
You should have taken the day off for your birthday.
Yeah, I probably should have.
I'm just saying.
It'd be weird to have a random Thursday off, though.
Would it?
I would have took Thursday, Friday.
Take Thursday, Friday into a long weekend.
Yeah. But I remember when I was working at Channel 4 and we were all, what am I thinking? Partially furloughed, I guess. Yes. They gave me a Wednesday off, and I remember being so irritated, thinking like, why couldn't I have gotten a Monday or a Friday off? I loved it because you would work 2 days and then you felt like you had a mini weekend, and then you'd go back and work another 2 days. It ended up being amazing.
When you were furloughed, what, because of like COVID? Furlough?
Yeah.
Wow.
We were on unemployment. Do you remember that? I mean, you wouldn't have been part of that.
I was not part of that.
Yeah.
I had no idea they did that.
Yeah, our union got us onto unemployment.
Wow. So even though you had a full-time employment contract with the TV station, they figured out a way to lay you off?
We all had to work. We did 4 10s for a while, and then they went to 4 8s. And that was when we were partially furloughed and ended up getting on unemployment.
Well, I don't know that I was aware of that. That's something else. I remember after 9/11, when everybody wasn't sure what was going to happen next, that our company at the time, I think it might have been the Belo Corporation at the time that owned Channel 4, actually came to us and asked us to take a pay reduction.
Yes, I would love to take a pay reduction.
Well, they did. Of course, it'll be voluntary, wink, wink. But in other words, we'll remember those people who don't agree to take a 10% pay reduction or whatever it was. And a lot of people agreed to it. And it lasted for, 6 months maybe. And then they bumped it back up to where it was and thanked all of us that agreed to do it. But, I mean, the insinuation was, you don't have to do this, but if you don't, we're going to remember the next time your contract comes up.
Did they take a pay cut? I'd like to know if the executives took a pay cut.
I doubt very seriously if Alan Cohen and gang made any less money during that period of time. I can't swear to it, but I'd be a little bit surprised.
That's what I'd want to ask. Oh, sure, I'll take a 10% pay cut, but are you taking a 20% pay cut?
Oh, boy. Good times, huh? Good times to remember. Good morning to you. Did you watch the president's speech last night?
I did.
I'd love to know what people thought about that. We'll open it. The text line is open always, actually, at 314-241-9797. I thought it was fine. I will admit to being one of the in the category of I don't know how necessary it was. I mean, he may feel like I needed to do this to speak to the American people and explain exactly how great things are about to be. I think that was kind of the tone of it. I thought he made some great points. He called out the Biden administration and past administrations that didn't do anything for anybody except raise the deficit and the trade deficit and all that. I don't know. I also feel like maybe he should have done it behind the Resolute desk in the Oval Office instead of the podium there. I kind of would have liked to have seen. I think it may have seemed a bit more formal. But I thought he did a good job with it. I'm just not sure, because before we know it, we're going to blink and he'll be given the State of the Union address. Right. Which may sound a lot like that.
Yeah, I didn't really quite understand the purpose of it. I mean, are you trying to squash some of what you're hearing about people trying to say it's, the affordability crisis? I mean, obviously the midterms will be here before we know it. So maybe that was part of the reason for it. It seemed odd, I guess, why he wanted to do that.
Well, I don't know. I guess I just expected something unexpected from it, and I didn't get that. Although I thought that he explained things well. It was typical Trump speech. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but it only lasted about 20 minutes,
It was
right?
20 minutes, because I remember thinking, all right, this starts at 8. I'm going to be here till at least 9 o'clock. I couldn't believe it was as short as it was. And like you said, I'm just waiting for that big moment when he says something. Like Tucker Carlson was speculating that he was going to declare war in Venezuela. So I'm sitting here like, I know he's, the president of peace, but I'm sitting here thinking, is something like that about to drop?
I never believed that, but I was driving home. I was listening to it on our station here as I was driving home from meeting some friends out, and I was surprised when it was over at 8:20. Just about the time I was arriving home, it ended. I'm like, wow, that was concise. That was short and concise. I figured he would go on longer than that. So it was a mini version of what we'll hear in the State of the Union. Although I thought he made some great points, and we're going to play you plenty of clips from that this morning. Thank you to Kim St-Onge. It has taken us several weeks of work on this, just so you know, to secure it. But this morning, we do have Senator Josh Hawley joining us in the 7 o'clock hour, right at the top of the hour there at 7. We will get the senator on here, talk to him more about, a whole host of things, not the least of which will be this healthcare vote they took, the drug boat bombings, and a bunch of stuff that's going on in Washington, D.C. right now. I don't think I'll bring up the Vanity Fair thing because it was a nothing burger, but if you've got suggestions or questions you'd like us to ask Senator Hawley, feel free to join us on social media here on Facebook or YouTube, however you get to us, X, or send it on the text line, 314-241-9797, and Kim will relay those to me.
That's right. So far, it's just you guys suck. We haven't had any questions.
that person's back.
Unless you want us to ask Hawley that. Is that a question for Hawley? You guys suck.
Senator Hawley, do you believe that we suck? That would be a fantastic question for him this morning. All right. Last night was an epic night on late night TV, and I'm gonna explain to you why as soon as Ethan hits the open here for our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist.
Certainly, I think we needed more time, and from certain places in the administration, we needed more support.
Oh, poor Kamala. She's still out there on Jimmy Kimmel's failing show last night, complaining that if we just had more support from the Biden administration, we might have pulled it off, even though we only had 107 days. She always gets the title of her book in there because that's her excuse. It's not the fact that she was the worst candidate in presidential history. It's because she just didn't have enough time.
I believe that there were multiple people at Turning Point who are, as I have said many times, my exact words are, they are engaged in a cover-up of what happened to Charlie on that day.
Woo! Piers Morgan had Candace Owens on last night, and he got pretty heated at times. I thought he called her out, and I mean it's pretty amazing to watch that interaction. In case you missed it, we'll play some more of it for you coming up.
Designating Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism is a colossally bad idea, a dangerous provocation, and a roundabout way of allowing military strikes on Russian targets.
Yeah, Senator Rand Paul there sending out a warning of what he thinks may be about to happen regarding the Russia designation as terrorists. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but that's what Rand Paul thinks.
We are sending every soldier $1,776. Think of that. And the checks are already on the way. Nobody understood that one until about 30 minutes ago.
Wow, how about that? 1776. Where do you think they got that number from?
I mean, Trump's very intentional about everything. I think that's very fitting. And you know what? You know, you and I have been kind of against this whole $2,000 check to people from the tariffs, but
mainly because of our privilege. But
that's
just
true.
So you know.
That's true. Well, because we make like $5 million every single show, right? We make $5 million a week.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But this I can get behind. I always love the support for military members and what they do for our country, and this is something I can get behind.
I think if we're gonna send checks out, let's send it to the military or to the truly needy. Generally speaking, this is one way to limit the damage, and let's take the rest of it and apply it toward our foreign debt. So we're not quite so many trillions of dollars in debt to the Chinese or whoever we owe the money to. I fully support that idea, and it's going in the right direction for sure. And pretty soon we'll get videos like we did yesterday from that TSA agent doing the Trump dance when they get their $1,776 check.
Is that you trying to do the Trump dance on the camera? We need the official music.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, we got Tom Ackerman coming up. I can't wait to hear his thoughts. You know he's an Indiana fan. Did you know that?
I did not. No, I'm sorry. Wait, he's an Indiana fan. Are you a Kentucky fan or no?
I am.
Oh, okay.
Yes, indeed. We beat them last week in basketball. But I'll just point out, his quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, won the Heisman, if you missed that. The guy that came in second has made a complete horse's ass of himself, just so you know, since that happened, this Pavia guy from Vanderbilt. And I'm anxious to hear what Tom Ackerman thinks about that and whether or not it hurts that guy's draft status, that he's acted out like this and basically sent F-bombs toward the Heisman voters since the vote last weekend. It's been a pretty epic disaster, in my opinion. So we got Tom Ackerman coming up in the next hour at 6:35. We'll be back right after our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We look good on the roads at this hour. Light traffic And really no weather issues yet, although we're supposed to get some rain eventually this morning. We look good right now, and that's throughout the area on both the Missouri and Illinois sides. So far, so good this morning. If something comes up, I'll let you know. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Well, 2026 is going to be epic, right? 250th anniversary, founding of the country. It's going to be a big year. It's also going to be the 100th anniversary of my friends at the Overhead Door Company, the original that started back in 1926. And what an accomplishment. Think of all of the garage doors that they've installed and built over the years. And up until now, they've got this great selection of doors. If you're getting a garage door for utility, you want one that is, of course, insulated to protect what you keep in the garage. If you're getting one for style, they've got a great selection of those too. They look like barn doors and a more modern look. Whatever you're looking for, you can go to their website. You can find it. You can get it ordered. They've got great discounts on there right now. So all you have to do is go to overheaddoorstlouis.com and check them out. And of course, they will come out to your house for free and give you a free estimate, and look at the specials on their website, because you can get some pretty good discounts right now on new garage doors, new entry doors, whatever it is you're looking for. Be sure and ask them about all of that. And I believe they're hiring. So if you're looking for a job, they'll train you and they'll pay you while they train you. Ask them about it at 314-781-5200 or go online to overheaddoorstlouis.com.
I'm Dr. Nick Barnes at Health From Within Family Chiropractic in Rock Hill. At Health From Within, our mission is to transform the way you manage your health by bringing you the truth about health and healing. We use proven techniques to remove interference in the nervous system and maximize health naturally, without drugs or surgery. Connect with me at healthfromwithinstl.com and join me for Maximize Living on this station every Sunday at 8 a.m. or download the Maximize Living podcast, healthfromwithinstl.com.
At Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, every moment with our patients is a gift. This holiday season, you can be the reason children have hope as they fight serious illness and reach milestones once thought impossible. Your gift provides life-saving care to those who need it most. Please donate today at treeofhope.org and be the reason a child has hope for tomorrow.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see.
Well, Kim, you know they say no good deed goes unpunished. So apparently yesterday when we were talking about Candace Owens and Erica Kirk and their little conversation they had, my daughter was driving to school, and she confronted me when I got home last night when she got home, because she thinks I am off the target on Candace Owens. She thinks I have not I've not listened to her enough. I need to examine more closely what she's saying about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And I said, you do realize that when people start suggesting that they have to bring their own water to a meeting out of fear that if they drink the water that's given to them there, they might be poisoned, that people start to think maybe you're just a little conspiratorialist. Maybe, just a little. So we know that's what Candace Owens claimed, that
Right.
I'm safe, I survived, I went to this meeting and I'm okay, I just want you to know that. And then the next day, yesterday, I played the Bible, she says, listen, I had a meeting with Eric, it went better than I thought it would, and some of you told me not to drink the water, and I didn't, I took my own bottle of water. I mean, the drama queen portion of it is getting ridiculous. Even if she may have a couple of things that need to be examined. I don't know. Why are Egyptian planes following Charlie Kirk? I don't know.
And Erica.
I don't know.
It is weird.
I don't know. But I've seen zero evidence to suggest so far that anybody other than the guy they've got in custody was responsible for shooting Charlie Kirk. I got a guy on here yesterday on Facebook chewing me out. I need to study ballistics a little more, and I know the truth. Well, really? Is that my job to study ballistics? I know what fires out of my 9mm and my 223 and my 30-30. That's about the extent of my knowledge of ballistics. And my guess is that's about the extent of Candace Owens' knowledge of ballistics. So I don't know who's feeding her some of this stuff. I don't know. But I am a little tired of it, and I expressed that yesterday. Now listen to the interaction last night with Piers Morgan. Got a little tired of it too. Here's the first interaction between the two of them. It's a little bit longer, but I wanted you to hear this one first. Go to cut 1, please.
I want to get to the reality of what you're actually saying. So when you say that somebody at Turning Point USA, Charlie's company, was complicit in his murder, who was?
I believe that there were multiple people at Turning Point who are, as I have said many times, my exact words are, they are engaged in a cover-up of what happened to Charlie on that day.
No, but who was involved in his murder?
I didn't say that they murdered Charlie.
You said that people at Turning Point were complicit in his murder.
No, my exact sentence that I said was that there were people at Turning Point who are engaged in a cover-up.
No, you didn't.
I believe
Sorry,
that
you didn't.
thoroughly.
Candice, you didn't say that. You said literally.
I did say that on my entire show.
You said there were people at Turning Point complicit in his murder.
Okay.
That's what you said.
When you and I were discussing, that's why I said, let's go back. I was applying the logic of a conspiracy to JFK. I said, okay, if JFK, you have people that are complicit. Of course, if you apply that logic, if there is a conspiracy, there's going to be multiple people that are going to be complicit by the time, in order for a large stage murder to happen.
You specifically said, you didn't say complicit in a cover-up. You said complicit in the murder. Because I said, who at Turning Point was involved in his murder? And
let me clarify for you. Okay, you can keep saying what I said, or you can listen to what I am saying.
Okay.
When I was using the analogy of JFK and we were connecting it, I was basically pushing back on you because you were suggesting that, all of these people being involved would be crazy. So I was applying the analogy of what happened to JFK. Well, you actually, if you go back and listen, were suggesting that a conspiracy.
I said you don't know either. You're floating theories.
When we start.
It was a pretty interesting back and forth between these two.
I agree. There are some things that she has brought up that probably do require some digging into, like the planes thing is weird. Not even just following Charlie Kirk, but following Erica Kirk multiple times. It really bothers me about Candace is how she's like for example, I go back to the text message she showed with the picture of like, look, Charlie text messaged me and it was a selfie and he asked me what he should wear if he looked good for a date. Like, it just feels like she's become so obsessed with the idea that she and Charlie were friends and they were so close and sharing the old videos. And it's dangerous when she's sitting here trying to call out people like Mikey McCoy at TPUSA, saying that he had something to do with the murder because he hopped on his phone.
But that's not what she said.
She said
anyway.
The cover up, right? Is her point
exactly? I played that long bite to really get to this one, which I thought it's not nearly as long, but this is where Pierce had finally had enough of what Candace was selling.
The reason why people are watching my show is I'm the only one not treating them like they're absolute idiots who don't have two eyes and who believe in magic bullet theory and who understand that Egyptian planes should not have been tracking Charlie even 3 times this year would be an anomaly. Okay, they've been tracking him. We don't know where it's going to end, but we are going to keep asking questions until we get clear answers.
Candace, it may be that the person in the media spewing bullshit to the public is you.
Reason why people
I don't know, but Piers Morgan, I'm not a huge fan of that guy, but I thought that was an interesting back and forth with Candace Owens yesterday. All right, coming up, we're going to get to the birthday girl's whim here in just a couple of minutes and find out what's going on. We'll be back.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Scott, can you believe it's already been more than a decade since the Queen of Carpet sold flooring to St. Louis area contractors?
I know, but I don't have to be a king to offer contractors today's lowest prices.
Yes, contractors owe it to their customers and themselves to shop at Best Buy Flooring for the largest in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile.
Plus 3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and Metro East.
Open 7 days a week.
Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholtz of Kaufman Townsley. If you're the victim of a careless driver due to no fault of your own, the only way to know what your case is worth is by uncovering the full extent of your injuries. At Kaufman Townsley, we work with the top doctors in St. Louis. We'll help you get the expert medical care you need and fight to get you the maximum money you deserve. Kaufman Townsley. Real people, real results. Call 314-777-7777.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's an important inflation update coming out this morning. The Consumer Price Index for November is expected to rise 3.1% from a year ago, an increase of 3% excluding food and energy. Also, the weekly numbers will be released on new unemployment claims. Former Reagan administration economic advisor Art Laffer tells FBN's Stuart Varney he sees strong growth for the economy in coming months, and he's encouraged that jobs were created in November.
Once we get over the new year and all the big, beautiful bill takes effect and all the incentive effects in there, I think you're going to see a very strong economy.
We'll find out today if people are still going to Olive Garden. Parent company Darden Restaurants reports earnings, and the Philadelphia Federal Reserve releases an update on manufacturing. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jen Cosola. Invested in you.
I'm alpine skier Michaela Schifrin. I've won the most World Cup ski races in history. But what does success mean to me? Success means discipline. It's teamwork. It's the drive and passion inside of us, and it's why Stifel is one of the fastest growing global wealth management firms in the country. If you're looking for success, surround yourself with the people who will get you there. If you're an advisor or investor, choose Stifel, where success meets success.
Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated. Member SIPC and NYSE.
Past performance is no indication of future results. Investing involves risk. Consult a financial advisor before making
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, good morning to you. We look fine on the roads at this hour. There may be a little sweating on the roads. I mean, it's 54 degrees in the middle of December in the morning. So there's a little bit of sweating out there, moisture on the roads. But at this hour, we look good. We've got light traffic in general. So if you are traveling on either the Missouri or the Illinois side, we are in good shape at this hour. If something comes up, I will, of course, let you know. But so far, so good. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk.
All right, Golden Oak Lending is out there with some great rates right now. If you've been waiting, hey, I'm gonna refinance or we're gonna move as soon as these rates drop. Guess what? Golden Oak Lending, once again, ahead of the curve, 4.5% for a 15-year mortgage right now. Think about that. You can refinance, take out a little bit of cash to pay off some high-interest credit card debt. You can get your loan closed in as soon as 8 days. They've done it that fast. And then you don't have 2 months of house payments. That is cash back in your pocket. They're saving the average cash-out customer $1,100 a month. Why would you not do that? Why would you keep paying 25 or 30% interest on a credit card when you can pay it off using the equity in your home? Call them today at 314-567-GOLD. Say, listen, I heard Marc Cox talking about this. I just need to know if this would work for me. And you're going to be talking to a veteran mortgage person who can explain how this works. And if they can't help you, They're going to be honest with you, but you can get started today. 314-567-GOLD, goldenoaklending.com. That is a 15-year FHA loan with 20% equity down, a 5.442 APR, qualified credit, and additional terms apply. Their NMLS number is 114937.
So you're thinking, great boat, 60 grand, but hey, we can have fun on the water. She's thinking, what, 3, maybe 4 months a year if we're lucky? You're thinking tow ropes and wakeboards. She's thinking granite countertops and undermount sinks. You're back to thinking about summers. But she's thinking about all year, every day, rain or shine. And she's also thinking 3 days and about half the cost. That's right, 3 days and half the cost. Your kitchen or bath can have a completely new look in just 3 days or less. Guaranteed. Top quality products and craftsmanship, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And you and your family will enjoy it all year, day in and day out, with no tow ropes needed. Now, what are you thinking? Find out more about how your kitchen or bath can be the kitchen or bath of your dreams in just 3 days. Just visit 3daykitchen.com. That's 3daykitchen.com.
3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Real talk, today's issues. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis conservative. Kim on a whim.
Zohran Mamdani just being elected as mayor of New York City is a clear indication how many people in 2025, almost 2026, very much support socialism and think that is the ultimate answer. They hate capitalism. They think it's evil. They want to tax the rich, right? And it's really startling when you look at some of these studies talking about particularly younger Americans who feel this way because they're the next generation, right? Listen to this. This was a Cato Institute survey. It says more than half of Americans aged 18 to 29 hold a favorable view of socialism. It says 34% of people in that age group feel the same about communism. Doesn't that just make you feel warm and fuzzy?
Oh, my God. It's just our educational system has failed these people. Plain and simple.
I know. There's this Gen Zer, I guess he'd be Gen Z. He's 24 years old. Stephen Wang is his name. And he believes he can end this generation's love affair with socialism. Here's what he says. He says, the solution is not free, subsidized housing or grocery stores. It's having them participate in a chunk of the American dream. Are you listening, Zohran? Are you a fan of the Marc Cox Morning Show? Because you need to hear that. The American dream is possible, and if you move to other countries, you were born in other countries, you don't really have that opportunity. I went to India several years back, and they have what's called a caste system. So when you're born in the lower caste, guess what? That's where you're going to remain. You're likely going to live in the slum your entire life, and it's really, really sad. You can't climb out of it like you can here in the United States, where you're born and you can be homeless and you can end up being the CEO of a massive company and no one's stopping you except you. That's it. You might have challenges. It might be harder a little bit for some people I get that, but don't tell me that the American dream is dead. It is very much alive, and we're so blessed to live in a country where that's possible. So listen to what this guy wants to do. He wants participation in capital markets, and that's why he started this app called Dub. Have you heard of it?
I have not.
Ethan, have you?
I actually think I have it on my phone.
Do you really?
Yeah, I'm looking. Hold on.
Wow.
Okay, so do you remember, I'm trying to remember the name of that one app where you were able to start investing. Oh, do you really? Okay, yeah. Wow, I never heard of this. Remember that app where people were investing, it was like investing for dummies? Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to remember the name of it because I definitely had it.
There's one called Robinhood.
That's
that's
Robinhood.
Been on up for a while. When my son was in college, he talked about using that. So.
Right. And it's funny because I remember when I was single before I met my husband, I remember downloading that app, and one of the photographers at Channel 4 was telling me about it, and he's trying to tell me which stocks to, invest in and all this stuff, and it's terrible. Like, it bombed. I didn't know what I was doing, and thank goodness my husband now is very involved, and he enjoys this, investing and stuff, so he does all of that. But a lot of people like me, they don't know what they're doing, right? And so this guy, the concept he's come up with is, instead of you trying to figure out, oh, I should invest here, you can look at someone who is successfully investing, and you essentially just copy them.
Is this like the one that tracks Nancy Pelosi's investments?
It does track Nancy Pelosi's investments.
That's called an index fund. Those are available all over the place. Like actually a mutual fund is investing for dummies. It really is.
So how would this be then different?
I don't know. I'm anxious to hear what he has to say.
Listen to him talking about this.
That's where you're trusting this person that is an investing sort of person and personality that you're following. And that's the beauty of sort of really where we want to take this, right? We want to bring trust and transparency back into the system. And we've done this by curating a great all-star set of investors to start. But down the line, the kid in his mom's garage that's really good investing could become the next all-star. And we believe 10 years from now, people will no longer be picking stocks. So they should be picking people to copy.
Now, what you have to know, though, about this app is it's not real time. It's a little bit delayed. So if someone's day trading or doing things like that, you're not going to be able to copy every single move they're making in real time, which that has been a flaw, and that's something he's been criticized for this app.
Well, yeah, you can't. Day trading is a very dangerous water to tread in unless you really, really understand what you're doing, and it's money you can afford to lose. You have to really deeply understand the market. Trust me, I went and got my Series 7 license from the SEC when I worked as a financial advisor for a while. And even with that level of education, you have to be very cautious or a genius level to wade into some of those day trades. You have to really know what you're doing. So the way they usually make money is on the margins. And if you don't understand that, or your action is delayed by a day or two because this app is behind, you're not going to get the same result they got.
Right.
You're just not.
So in order to become an influencer on the app, apparently it's a pretty high bar. He says you need a verified track record, a full background check, multiple interviews, and approval by our investment committee. We also verify that creators are actually executing the strategies they claim. Even after approval, monetization runs through our fiduciary advisory entity, and we actively monitor participants on a day-to-day basis.
So how do they make money?
How does this guy make money? Because you have to pay a fee it's a yearly annual fee you're paying in order to be able to follow these influencers.
So they're not, so the beautiful thing about index funds is that you don't have to pay an advisor to pick the stocks that are in the index fund. What they've done is they've taken and they've modeled the S&P 500 or one of these like the top stocks from the S&P 500 are in this, and then somebody goes out and basically copies that, and they call it an index fund. So it's not actively managed. The downside of an index fund is in an actively managed fund, you have a manager who's making those hard decisions to pull this stock and replace it with this one because it's performing better. An index fund doesn't have that day-to-day management, but it also doesn't have those day-to-day fees because you're having to pay somebody to manage that fund. Mm-hmm. So the beauty of an index fund, let's say you're with a Schwab or one of these independent companies where you can pick your own investments and you don't necessarily have an advisor. The beauty of an index fund is that it's a lower cost way to mimic a successful another fund that's doing well. Sounds very similar to what this guy's trying to do, except he's working with individuals who have a proven track record, and then you can model you can model your portfolio after what they're doing.
Right. He says he believes that shared ownership, not bigger government, is the answer to questions of affordability, that word we keep hearing about. And with markets delivering consistent long-term returns, he's working to make that opportunity accessible to those who feel excluded.
Did you hear that report on the Gordon Deal show this morning comparing the appreciation of homes since 1995 to money had you invested that money in the stock market in 1995?
I'm scared to know.
So homes have appreciated 300% since 1995 on average, according to this report. How do you think the stock market fared against that over the same period of time?
Well, see, according to this guy, he's saying that it's tricky because it says the stock market and economy basically double every 10 or 12 years. The value of money falls 4 or 5% a year with inflation, so it's kind of a timing game.
I agree.
So I couldn't even
the
guess.
market. You can't time the market is the point. You have to put it in and keep it there.
Keep it and let it
you
grow.
have to stay in the game. You can't make knee-jerk decisions to sell everything and try to go to cash and time the market. That never works. Never works. Over that same period of time from 1995 until now, the stock market has appreciated 1,200%.
Oh my gosh.
Instead of 300%. So that's not to discourage people from buying a home, but his argument was getting in the homeownership game these days is pretty expensive for younger families, that you have to have a $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 down payment to get in the game, and then you're paying a lot for the home. And his argument was people in like really expensive zip codes like New York and LA and Chicago might be better off renting and taking that extra income that they would have thrown at maintenance and repairs and buying a home and investing it in the stock market instead. That was part of, I'm not suggesting that. That's what that guy suggested, just because the rate of appreciation in the market has been so much higher over that period of time.
That could make sense, but you don't have an asset. You have
It's
no
true.
equity in anything.
Except your stocks.
You could always buy a home, and you could pull out a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, and you can use that for different things.
Dave Ramsey hates those.
Well, I don't care what Dave Ramsey says in this case, because it's been very helpful for us. Sorry, Dave. You can use that for other things. So there are some restrictions on those, but it is lenient to a degree.
Yeah, that's true. Well, little food for thought for you this morning. What's the name of the app again?
Dub,
as in D-U-B?
D-U-B.
Not doobie, it's dub.
Dub.
It's not dubious, it's just D-U-B.
Dub.
Go for the dub. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a minute.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We look good on the roads at this hour. Now, out on eastbound 70, kind of between Forestell and Wentzville, they had a lane shuffle going on. You know, the left lane was blocked, and they're just doing some road work and picking it up. And at this hour, it's not too bad. One of the cameras is out, but I can see a little bit of volume. Looks like it's improving quickly. And that's about it. Other than that, we are in good shape at this hour, both the Missouri and Illinois sides. Now, they have road work scheduled for today, but since it's going to rain, it's hard to know whether they'll actually go through with it. So if you are traveling on northbound 55 through the construction zones there, it's the usual. But on the Illinois side, it's quiet as well, even at Greenmount Road at this hour. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Hey girl, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon. On behalf of the entire Fox Across America crew, we just want to thank the 97.1 FM Talk listeners for a fantastic 2025. You sure know how to make a girl feel special. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Have some great holidays.
This holiday season, when you get them Steel, batteries are included. Buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for gift ideas and seasonal savings. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you.
You know, there's a certain way we do things around here. The Grasser way.
The Grasser way?
We don't cut corners and we don't take shortcuts. Not on the little stuff. Not on the big stuff.
We do the big stuff.
That's right. Whole home generators that kick on the moment the grid gives up. Lights stay on, heat stays on, your family stays safe, so your house stays warm.
And your ice cream stays frozen.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeServices.com.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
All right, let me tell you about my friends at Home Shield Foundation Repairs, 314-227-9636. There's a little bit of rain out there this morning. I don't know that we're supposed to get a downpour, a little bit, maybe potential for some storms in the area today. Could be spotty, but if you have a leaky basement, you're concerned about that, right? You have to worry about it because it could ruin your belongings. You can get mold in the basement. It's just a whole bunch of headaches. So if you call my friend Matt Hayes, he can get that taken care of for you. Like, finish. You don't have to worry about it anymore because he's going to give you that warranty when he's done. That is a lifetime warranty on his work. If you fix that crack in your wall, if he has to do something more involved, like put drain tiles in at the end of it, you're not going to have to worry about that ever again. And if you just need advice on a sump pump, he's got lots of opinions on the good ones and the not so good ones. So call Matt up, tell him you heard me bragging about him, and you'd like him to come out personally to your house. 314-227-9636. You can see what they do online. They got lots of great how-to videos on there at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Unapologetically right. Marc Cox on 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
All right, yeah, we're not the Christmas station, but I figured we're close enough here, being a week out today, that we could have a little Christmas music.
I was due on Christmas Eve, and I'm kind of glad that I was not born then.
Woo! Yeah, that's true. But you're close.
I am close.
Because today is Kimberly's birthday, and in your honor, our friend Scott Schneider is walking in the studio right now from Donuts Delight.
With so many donuts. Oh, my gosh.
You're particularly going to appreciate, I think Scott is probably looking for a place to set all that stuff down over there, but you're particularly going to appreciate what's in the big box, Kim.
Okay.
That's the key to the whole operation this morning. So I'll have Scott carry that over there and unveil it for you. And because, we wanted in honor of your birthday, and we don't necessarily have to announce on the air how old you are, but take a look at this.
Oh, my gosh.
What does it say in the box, Kim?
Well, I don't care. I'll tell you how old I am. It says 36.
36.
Wow. That's amazing.
Scott
I have
made
to take a picture of that.
Scott made a donut shaped like a 3 and a 6. A big old glazed donut. We're going to bring it over here where people can see that. Ethan, let him carry that over by your camera there, so maybe people can see the 36 if they're watching on social media. Isn't that awesome? Look at that,
Scott. You're awesome.
You even got sprinkles.
I love that. I am very impressed you were able to do that.
I texted Scott yesterday. I'm like, hey, is there any chance? And he goes, done. You want me to make a donut about her age? And I'm like, well, I think she'll be okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming down.
You're welcome.
Yeah, good to see you. How are things?
They're good.
Good. That mic's got some problems there. I apologize for that.
How difficult is it to make a donut like that in that shape?
Just take your time. It's not that bad.
Don't try it at home.
Yeah, don't
go to the professionals.
No, you grab a bowl and take a cutter and go around the bowl so I get the rounds. And
wow.
Just take your time.
So, see, you too can get a specialized donut like that with a little bit of advanced planning, right?
Absolutely.
You do that for people?
Yeah.
Oh,
Give us a call
awesome.
and we can make a number donut.
Absolutely. Well, if you have never been up to Donuts Delight, pretty awesome. They're at Halls Ferry and Dunn Road, basically right off of 270 there in North County.
Yes, sir.
Keeping you busy.
They are.
Last time you were in, you were bragging about your biscuits and gravy. Which days of the week do you make that?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll be getting it ready tomorrow morning.
Man alive! This is something you got to try because you don't bake your biscuits individually. You make a biscuit in like a pan.
Yes.
And you cut it square like a piece of cornbread or something.
We do.
Big and thick and delicious.
Is that new or
So
you've
good.
always done that?
There's a lady down south that I saw her do that, and she taught me how to do it. Just something different.
Nice.
And I get a nice, thick, tall biscuit.
Yum.
Oh,
Mark loves biscuits. That's one thing I know about Marc Cox. Loves biscuits and gravy.
As you can see from my girth, I am convinced my love of biscuits and gravy padded me a little bit when I broke my ribs. I think it might have been worse if it hadn't been for that layer of biscuits and gravy around my middle. I believe that.
That's awesome.
I'm just kidding.
And it's winter time.
It's
extra
Biscuit
insulation,
and gravy
Mark.
and ham and beans.
That's what I thought.
There you go.
I'm insulated like those garage doors from overhead. I just got that extra layer of insulation. But yeah, fantastic, Scott. We can't thank you enough.
Yes,
my friend.
thank you.
Very welcome
For driving down here at this hour and risking your life on people running red lights
That's
downtown.
true.
Tell them what you saw on your way down here.
At least 3 sitting right out here in front of the building.
Wow.
They don't even stop.
They just blow right
They
through
just
them.
go. They don't even care.
It is scary. Every time I come to a red light or, really a green
Any
light,
light.
I always slow down and I'm looking both ways because I just think of the horrific stories we've heard where it was a guy
People
driving
getting
like
T-boned.
80 miles an hour. Remember he killed the mom and daughter when they were walking out of some concert at the Enterprise Center?
Yep.
That's what I picture. And so I'm always so scared that someone's going to come flying, at 80 miles an hour at 4 a.m. because you just don't know.
Absolutely. And it's not just down here.
Where do you see it a lot?
Right there at Dunn Road and 270.
Oh, that's where you were
at
okay,
Halls Ferry,
wow.
all the time.
Because Dunn Road's one way there, right?
Correct.
People are coming. They blow the light at New Halls Ferry.
Yes.
Wow, that's a busy road.
Yes.
You got to be on your toes. You got to be such a defensive driver these days. Well, I hope people will check that out, Donuts Delight, and maybe get some of that biscuits and gravy. Or if you got an event coming up, get a hold of Scott and he'll make one of those. Well, for most of us, it would be a much bigger number. I don't know if he charges extra for higher numbers.
For higher numbers, we charge more. Right?
I said, I was like, I'm closer to 40 now. I'm like, sorry, guys. I know you're going to be annoyed with me for saying that.
You shouldn't have told him that. He's going to charge you the 40 rate now instead of the 30 rate.
Hey, I'm still in my 30s right now.
Sounds good.
Thank you very
good.
much, Scott.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate
You
that.
guys have a good
Appreciate it,
day.
my friend. Absolutely. You bet. I told Kim, an employee here at the station gave us a box of chocolates yesterday, which was very nice. Thank you to Tammy. But I brought him in this morning. I'm like, happy birthday. This is for you. She's like, oh, if you'd brought those yesterday, I would have eaten them all already. And I'm like, well, slow your roll because there may be food coming.
I did not expect a massive donut like that. Neither of you can dig into that until I get a picture of it.
Oh, okay. All right. We got you covered.
There's like 2 other dozen
That's
donuts.
true.
we put
2
back
dozen
there.
back there. He really fixed us up this morning on all in your honor.
Scott's saying on Facebook, I missed the donut creation. I'll take a picture and we'll put it on social media.
Yeah, we will. We'll post it up on the Facebook page because of that camera, the way we've got the thing set up here, the picture over there where Ethan is smaller. So we'll get that up there and let you see it. All right, quick break. Next hour, Tommy Ackerman in studio, sports director down the hall at KMOX to talk a little bit more about maybe the Cardinals, the Blues, a little bit of college football news. With the Heisman winner, the little controversy there. It's all coming up. We'll be back.
A powerful threat calls for a greater response.
When there's a battle, bring strength.
When there's a problem, seek answers.
When there is doubt, give hope.
Not tomorrow.
Not in a few years,
but right now.
Some battles must be faced together. Cancer fighters stand up to cancer every day. And you can be part of this battle too.
Visit standuptocancer.org/American Airlines to learn more.
together we can save lives.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This holiday season, Ruler Foods has the deals you've been waiting for. Sugardale butt or shank portion hams, just 99 cents a pound. Stock up on your favorite drinks with Coke or Pepsi 12-packs. Buy 2, get 2 free. And don't forget the baking essentials. Kroger 4-count butter sticks, 2 for $6. Celebrate the season with low prices on everything you need. Hurry into Ruler Foods today, where you'll save more and stress less this holiday. And don't forget the Ruler Foods app. Get exclusive savings, browse weekly ads, and even order delivery all right from your phone. RulerFoods.com.
Heidi Ricken Provost of Ricken Financial understands the importance of financial stability in your retirement plans.
If there's something we can do to help benefit your financial future and provide more strength and stability in your retirement plan, that's exactly what we do here. And we do so on a complimentary basis.
Call today, 314-207-6211 or online at rickenfinancial.com and join us for Kickin' with the Rickens, Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Investment advisor products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
President Trump insists he's fixing a mess he inherited. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
They flooded your cities and towns with illegal aliens. They decimated your hard-earned savings. They indoctrinated your children with hate for America.
And in a primetime White House address, President Trump told us,
over the past 11 months, we have brought more positive change to Washington than any administration in American history.
He insists he's making things more affordable after Biden-era inflation.
Now, under our leadership, they are all coming down and coming down fast.
And the president announced with all the revenue coming in from his tariffs on imports from around the world, he's giving military members a bonus ahead of America's 250th birthday.
We are sending every soldier $1,776.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer was critical of the Trump address last night, saying the president lives in a bubble. People are feeling financially squeezed harder and harder every day. The president did not bring up last night his crackdown on Venezuela, from an oil tanker blockade to the U.S. military operation some Democrats call illegal, blowing up boats said to be trafficking drugs off Venezuela's coast, with another strike yesterday killing another 4 alleged narco-terrorists. Now to the manhunt for the Brown University shooter.
Police are now asking the public for help in identifying this second person seen walking in the same residential neighborhood as the primary person of interest right before the deadly school shooting. Now, police don't even know this person's gender.
Fox's Brian Yennis in Providence, where police also say they have DNA and other evidence trying to find the gunman who murdered 2 students on Saturday and wounded 9 others. Pope Leo has just appointed the next Archbishop of New York, somebody who's also from Illinois, like he is. Bishop Ronald Hicks will replace the retiring Cardinal Timothy Dolan, who's considered a prominent conservative within the U.S. Catholic Church. America's listening to Fox News.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Good morning. Welcome into Thursday, December 18th. I'm Kim Sainanj for 97.1 FM Talk. 6:03 right now, 53 degrees. The Missouri Department of Transportation unveiled new safety measures to help with increased traffic and crashes in St. Charles and Lincoln counties. MoDOT plans to add what's called a dog bone intersection at Highway 61 and W, which basically means there's a roundabout on either side of the highway. Construction is expected to cost around $35 to $40 million, with a goal of starting the project by 2028. The St. Louis chapter of the NAACP is upset with SSM Health, claiming they're not hiring enough minorities for construction of the new Cardinal Glennon Hospital. The group says SSM Health received millions of dollars in tax money under the agreement that 21% of those jobs were supposed to be offered to Black-owned businesses and 11% offered to women-owned businesses. The new hospital is going up in Midtown and expected to open in 2027. St. Louis firefighter okay after falling through the floor of a burning vacant building in North City. Firefighters say the same home has burned twice this year, adding that fires at these vacant buildings tend to ramp up when it's cold because people break in to stay warm. Channel 4 talked to the property owner who had this message for squatters: go get a job, get some money, and stop popping up in vacant homes. In sports, a much-needed win for the Blues. Final score against the Jets last night was 1-0. Our time is 6:04, 53 degrees. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning. We look good on the roads this morning. Kind of in general, there was some road work earlier eastbound 70 between Forestell and Wentzville, but that's been picked up. And we look fine now. Northbound 55 looks good through multiple construction zones headed into downtown. And we look great on the Missouri side as well. Eastbound 70, 64, 44, off to a good start. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
We have a cold front and back to the northwest flow today. Cloudy, some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Focus on the rain this morning and early afternoon. Windy from the northwest this afternoon. So the warmest part of the day this morning, 55 degrees, falling to 45 by sunset. Tonight, partly cloudy, windy, and cold, down to 21. Friday, sunny and cold, 38. 56 on Saturday, 43 on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
6:05, 53 degrees. You can listen to the Marc Cox Morning Show or any other show on 97.1 FM Talk anytime or anywhere by downloading the free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Good morning to you. Welcome back into the Marc Cox Morning Show. In case you are just waking up, just joining us this morning, there's been a little bit of breaking news over in Australia because a town about an hour away from Sydney, apparently, where that tragic shooting took place the other day on Hanukkah, the first day of Hanukkah, they've arrested what they're describing as a group of people who were planning another terrorist attack. And we don't know if it was planned for Bondi Beach, if they were headed there, what exactly we're doing, who they are. There's been some video out of people, cops surrounding a car with people laying on the ground under arrest. So more details are going to come out on that, I'm sure, through the course of the morning. And if we get more details, we'll let you know. I don't know if the investigation of the current attack led police to these folks or if they were caught for some other reason. The details are really pretty sketchy at this point. Fox has been reporting on it. And if we get anything else on it, we will let you know. There's maybe an update on the Providence shooting as well, Brown University, because they don't have a suspect yet, but they say they are processing some DNA evidence, whatever that means. There's still no video from the scene and no better picture of the suspect in that case, which seems to have just taken an extraordinarily long time here to find somebody responsible for this. It seems hard to believe that on a campus with that many cameras, they don't have a better picture of this guy, but that seems to be where they are. So that's where we are today, too. Good morning to you. A happy birthday to Kimberly St. Ange. Kim, you took a picture of your your donut, your birthday donut. You want to describe that to people?
Oh, yeah.
Have you posted that?
No, I'm about to. Scott from Donut Delight came in, and he made a donut in the shape of my age, which I bet a lot of people are thinking, what? If they watch the feed, I bet they think mid-20s.
Oh, I'm sure.
A lot of people think I'm younger than I am.
Absolutely. That's what I would have guessed.
Yeah. Nope, not quite that.
I joked that I should have had him put the wrong age on there, like 40 or something like that, just to rile her up. But he did not. But he made a huge donut with a 3 and a 6.
Yes,
for 36
I'm 36
today. So happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Very very thankful for you, and we're happy that you. Now what we're going to do here, and we'll just tell Scott because he's probably listening in the Donuts Delight van as he drives back up to North County. They're at by the way, Newhalls Ferry and Dunn Road. Delicious donuts, by the way. There was a Ethan. I see you left the lid off the donuts over there. They're going to get cold. The apple fritter I grabbed was still warm. Can I just tell you that?
Yeah, during the commercial break, we're all like shoving donuts in our...
We're going to have a sugar crash here at some point this morning, but boy, was it good.
It was amazing.
Woo! Yeah, thank you. Kim is going to she's going to save her donut, her big 36 donut, for she's going to take it home for her family, right?
That's
for
right.
Your friends?
Yeah, friends. I have Bible study tonight, so maybe that. We'll see.
Nice.
I'll be the head of the group if I bring a big donut like that.
But they can do that for you too. So if you're interested, just get a hold of Scott over at Donuts Delight there in North County, and they can hook you up too for your loved ones' birthdays coming up, or for your own, if that's what you do. That's awesome. All right, we're going to get to Tom Ackerman here at the bottom of the hour. He will. I want to ask him a little bit more about this quarterback from Vandy, this Pavia guy, who I don't know if he got if in advance he got a Heisman tattoo or something because he was so convinced he was going to win the Heisman, and he was really on a campaign because he thought his statistics were better than the guy from Indiana who led his team to a perfect season, 12-0 so far before this championship series starts Friday night. I think the first games are tomorrow night, and that ought to be a must-watch. A couple of those games are going to be must-watch. There's no doubt about it. But we'll talk to Tom about that at the bottom of the hour. Next hour, at just about this time, we will have Senator Josh Hawley on here. He's going to call in from the swamp. I assume he's still in D.C., and we'll ask him about some of the big issues that are going on. The president's speech last night, this whole affordability issue that the Democrats keep throwing around, and maybe drug boats getting bombed. So we'll get to him at about 7:08. But right now, Ethan, let's get to our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Short List.
For the last 4 years, the United States was ruled by politicians who fought only for insiders, illegal aliens, career criminals, corporate lobbyists, prisoners, terrorists, and above all, foreign nations, which took advantage of us at levels never seen before.
Yeah, President Trump last night laying it out there and putting the fault where it lies on these men who've occupied the White House, who've not acted in the best interest of America, not America first, and in many cases, like the Biden administration, America last.
Frankly, I'm very proud of the way that Illinoisans have reacted to CBP and ICE.
Oh, Lord. J.B. Pritzker, already running for president. He's so proud of people confronting immigrations and customs enforcement officers trying to do their jobs. Yesterday, there was some weak-kneed liberal mayor from, what's the town? Is it Evanston, north of Chicago there, where Northwestern is, who was getting in the face of an ICE officer, and that guy read him the riot act. I love that.
Designating Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism is a colossally bad idea, a dangerous provocation, and a roundabout way of allowing military strikes on Russian targets.
Yep, Rand Paul with a word of warning there. He does not want that to happen with Russia. He says there are other ways to pressure Russia to the table in this Ukraine situation other than designating them as a state sponsor of terror, even if it's true.
After the election, did you and Doug just start drinking?
We did. Let me just say that we definitely, it took us some time.
Yeah, that was Cammie last night on, friendly territory there with Jimmy Kimmel, TDS extraordinaire subject himself, right? Of course, blasting the president last night, saying what a better world this would be if you were president of the United States. And then finally getting to the hard question. So is it true you just started drinking after you lost? Because we've seen some sound bites with her where it's pretty obvious something was going on.
I mean, even SNL made fun of that. Her drinking.
Hey, I got nothing to say. I have a cocktail every once in a while, but Kamala
Harris.
But
I mean, it sounded like she was going on camera in front of millions of people, and it just sounded like she truly had been drinking.
Well, she just needs everybody to know that it really wasn't her fault. She's written an entire book about why it wasn't her fault, and she apparently has convinced herself of this. I don't know what role the former second dude played in all of that. If he's rah-rahing her at home and saying, "Listen, you almost won. You've got to make another run for it," because apparently she's entertaining the idea of running again in 2028 because she thinks she was that close.
Do we think though for president, or do we think for
No, I think for
governor,
president.
or
No, I think she's running for president. I do. I don't think she's got a prayer because I think she basically misunderstands why she lost. She lost because the lights are on but nobody's home. People heard too many of her word salad answers and they realize she's not equipped or capable of leading the free world. The man in the White House is a shining example of how on it you have to be to lead America in this perilous time. She's not the answer in any way, shape, or form. And America rejected that. Even with the tens of millions of Democrats who hate Donald Trump with a purple passion, he still won in a landslide. And she thinks it's because she didn't have enough time. Here was her answer to Kimmel last night when he asked her basically that question.
When was the last time you spoke with President Biden?
About 3-4 weeks ago.
Do you feel like that Joe Biden and his people did everything they could to help you win the election?
I write about that, as you know, and certainly I think we needed more time, and from certain places in the administration, we needed more support.
Republicans have mercilessly
yeah, that was it. So
Biden for
if we just had more support from the administration. Like if between the time he called to tell you that he was going to withdraw till 30 minutes later when he called you back to tell you he would endorse you, he could have done more. How about you doing more by alerting America to the fact that we had a dementia patient in the White House? You did nothing for all that time. You did nothing on the border. You probably sat over at the Naval Observatory and had vodka, for all I know, because you didn't do anything else. But you're mad that the administration didn't do more to help you become the president of the United States.
She lost because she was a terrible candidate.
Horrible.
Who couldn't put two sentences together, didn't have any real ideas. She was clueless, and she was in over her head. But I will say, Joe Biden did kind of screw her over when he waited that long to drop out. I'm not saying she would have won had he dropped out earlier. I'm just saying it would have been tough, but it didn't really matter in the larger scheme of things.
He put his party in a difficult situation.
Yes.
I would agree with that. They should have had a primary.
100%.
Once again, the Democratic powers that be ignored all of their voters and handpicked the next president of the United States with no primary or anything, or having won a single vote in any sort of primary election. They ordained her to be the presidential candidate. And the reason they probably felt like they had to do that is because Biden didn't give them enough runway. He waited too long, and they should have forced him out much sooner than that. But still, for Kamala to whine that it was somebody else's fault is par for the course with that one, I'm telling you. All right, quick break here, bottom of the hour. Tom Ackerman. We'll be right back.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We look good on the roads at this hour. We still have light traffic in general, but there's just a little bit of volume starting to appear in the usual spots, one of which is northbound 55, a little in the right lanes at 270. and the other in the construction zone are headed toward the lane reduction part of it at Bayless. But other than that, we're fine. 70 eastbound looks good. From the 64 split into downtown, we're quiet on the Illinois side as well. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
God, remember when the Queen of Carpet and the Princess of Pile were flying around the arch selling flooring?
Andrea, that was the Queen of Carpet and the Princess of Tile.
Oh, that's right. But we don't need shtick here at Best Buy Flooring.
That's right, because our in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile are already at low, low prices.
Come see us at our 3 area locations, North County, South County, and Metro East. Open 7 days a week.
Plus, free financing on approved credit. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
Hey guys, are you dealing with low energy, weight gain, or issues in the bedroom? Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, and they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. Get in, get answers, get back to the top of your game. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Again, that's GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Drury Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Drury Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems, call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis, at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, so I get how many seasons of Survivor have there been? Does anybody know?
I don't watch that show.
Well, I don't either.
Close to 400.
But no, I mean seasons, not 400.
Maybe it's felt like
there
that.
may be 400 episodes of it
Seems
somewhere.
like it's been on forever.
It says as of December 2025, there have been 49 seasons of Survivor.
Yeah, it's close.
That's not possible.
What, you think?
Did they do it twice a year?
They might.
I remember
yeah.
in the 90s talking about it, like when I was anchoring at Channel 4, I remember it was a big deal because we were the CBS, they still are a CBS affiliate, but we were the ones carrying it, and it was all the rage, and we would do segments on it just talking about who advanced and who was thrown out and who was voted off the island and all that garbage. They even brought a guy in one time with Kim with dehydrated bugs because they were having to eat bugs on the island in some cases, and they had to know which ones to eat. And the guy brought some of these things in. I don't even know what they were, and I ate one on the air. And it wasn't bad. It was crunchy. I mean,
Gross.
Other than stuff getting stuck in your teeth, which you don't know what it was, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as good as that donut I had earlier, I can tell you that. But they had put some spice on it, and it was kind of crunchy, sort of like a potato chip or something. So I didn't mind. But back then it was a much bigger deal. Well, apparently I haven't watched it I never really watched it, but I haven't paid any attention to it in 20 years, easily. Apparently last night, former KSD anchor Savannah Louie won.
Wow.
She made it to the final, and she is the Survivor star. I guess so.
Do you win a lot of money for winning that?
I don't know. I don't know what it is anymore. I don't know what you win.
I'm looking this up.
The Cincinnati Enquirer, who is Savannah Louie? Because she was the winner of Survivor season 49.
Whoa! $1 million.
Did she win $1 million?
It says the winner of Survivor wins a grand prize of $1 million, though of course it's reduced by taxes, but who cares?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So there you have it. Somebody hit the lottery yesterday.
When was she a reporter? Do you know?
It wasn't all that long ago. I remember when she was over at Channel 5.
I don't feel like it was when I was there, or at least I don't remember her name.
Savannah Louie, former reporter, KSDK. Let's see, it doesn't say when. Let's see, she was a morning news anchor here from 2019 to 2021.
That's when I was there, so
She left St. Louis to work at an independent station in Atlanta and now works in marketing for her parents' company.
Well, there you go.
So, and she just made $1 million apparently on Survivor.
Congratulations.
Who knew? Who knew? I don't know. We're just talking about Channel 5 here, but there's also news out this morning that their meteorologist is leaving.
I did
guy
see that.
That's worked there, Jim Castillo, I guess is probably how you pronounce his name.
There's been a lot of turnover there. People are not thrilled, it seems, with the way things are running.
Well, I mean, he's been there for 6 years.
Yeah, but people
he announced
recently,
that he's leaving to go to California. I don't know if the writing was on the wall and he started looking for a job because he didn't like the way things were going.
Who was it who was saying that the management team was forcing people to do a lot of extra work, and the streaming thing it's just
Anthony
gotten
Slaughter,
out of control?
The former morning weather guy, was talking about that. He went pretty public with his complaints about him after they let him go, or maybe he left. I can't remember. They were asking him to do all this extra stuff and record all these extra weather hits, and he's like, "Yeah, I think I'm done with that. I don't think I'm going to do that anymore." And they basically he hit the door. So I don't know if this guy was facing the same thing or not, but he's worked all over the country. He's a Mizzou grad. He grew up in Florissant. I've never met him. New York City, L.A., and Philadelphia, and now he's going somewhere in California to work.
Well, good for him. I mean, you expect in this industry to have a lot of turnover. That's just the way things work because people are on usually 2 to 3 year contracts. Maybe an anchor would have a 5-year contract max for a local market. But when you have kind of a mass exodus, it does usually signal there's something going on.
Right. It's
Just
pretty
saying.
rare for a 5-year contract anymore. 2 or 3 years is just about
Standard,
it.
yeah.
And,
I was always on
and the
2
wording
years.
says they can fire you for any reason, basically.
Yeah, you can't leave.
You can't
right,
leave.
because then you would be sued, which I've had friends who were sued for leaving and getting out of the industry. It's not like they were going to a competitor, because by the way, you have a non-compete too, where you can't go work anywhere in the market. Like I couldn't have joined this show for probably 6 months or so after I was let go from KMOV because I would have had a non-compete.
Yeah, because it covered any broadcast in the region, audio or video broadcast.
Yep, they own my name, image, and likeness. I don't make money off of that like a lot of
Well,
these
yes,
college
you did.
athletes.
You were compensated with that $1 million salary.
Oh,
at
that's
Channel
true.
4,
I
don't you
did make
remember?
about $1 million. That's right. Yeah, TV people are paid a lot of money.
That is the biggest misconception about media these days. You know, there was a time when you go back and you think about when you were growing up. Like I grew up in the sense of watching news in Cincinnati, where believe it or not, Zipper Zeppa worked in Cincinnati when I was in high school, and then I went to college and eventually got a job in St. Louis, and he was working at Channel 4 when I got a job there. So people move around. But remember Ron Burgundy?
Oh, great Odin's Raven.
That movie was created about the legend of what it was like to be a news person in a newsroom in the 1970s. They were bigger than life. Many of them, even in local news, made hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe $500,000 or more, depending on their value to the TV station. All that started changing. Timing's everything. Just about the time I decided to get into TV news.
Isn't that convenient?
It was on the long slope down at that point. Now, by the time I got here, Larry and Julius were still anchoring at Channel 4, and I got to work alongside these guys, but everybody knew they were locked into the old system where they were still making a ton of money. But the people coming in the door, I mean, if you're making $40,000 or $50,000 as a reporter, even then, that's more than reporters are starting at these days. There was a union minimum was 30, I think. Nobody made the minimum then. My guess is a lot of these reporters they're hiring from Mizzou and other places are probably making less than $40,000 a year.
Yeah, and
the anchors are not getting paid like they used to either. So that's just the bottom line.
There were some reporters out of college who were borderline on food stamps. Not kidding.
Oh, I was.
How little they were paid.
I made $12,000 in my first TV job, and if had my parents not been paying my car payment, I would have probably I was probably close to qualifying for assistance myself. It's always been a business where there are more people who want to do it than there are jobs available, so they can pretty much get away with paying you whatever the hell they want until you have proven that you are of some value to them. So anyway, best of luck to Mr. Castillo there from Channel 5. Coming up, we'll get to Tom Ackerman, KMOX Sports Director, and talk about the Heisman controversy. Stay tuned.
I hear from sellers all the time that they fear they have missed out on the selling market. They are so relieved to learn September, October, and November are strong selling months. With low inventory and hopefully lower interest rates, this fall will be a hot one for real estate. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. You may have heard me say, why pay more than 4 for years? Now it's why pay more than 2, saving you even more money. Call me 314-441-4444. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri, Kansas, and Nevada.
Hi, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, America's largest family law firm. During this time of year, difficult relationships sometimes become impossible. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Renewal by Anderson wants to know, are you still battling cold drafts? Have your windows iced up again? And with utility costs surging, are you worried about what you're paying every month? Many are, and you're right. Because the truth is, you may already be paying for new windows and money lost in energy escaping your home. And here's the thing, you don't want to do this project twice. Renewal by Anderson spends every day replacing bad technology and poor installation of windows and doors that simply don't stand the test of time. But you can afford the best. America's most trusted window replacement company. Call 877-WINDOWS or visit rbastl.com to learn about our December savings event happening now. That's 877-WINDOWS or rbastl.com. Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service.
Good morning, I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk. 53 degrees now coming up on 631. The search is on this morning for the person who shot and killed a boy in his early teens in South City. That shooting happened around 6 o'clock last night in the 3600 block of Oregon. Police say they don't know exactly how old the boy was, but believe he was younger than 16. No suspect description at this point has been released. Well, a family known for owning wineries here in Missouri is apparently going all in on an NHL team. A hockey insider, believe it or not, is reporting the Hoffman family is buying the Pittsburgh Penguins. An official announcement on this is expected in the coming days. And in sports, the Blues beat the Jets last night. That certainly was a much-needed win. The final score of that game is 1-0. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Traffic has been light so far this morning, but we do have a stall reported. Eastbound 370 just before 94. Looks like it's off on the right-hand shoulder. There was a stall eastbound 44 before Antire, too, and that one is off on the shoulder. Really, the only volume we have is on northbound 55 in the construction zone around Bayless, and northbound 270, slow pockets, Doherty Ferry up through 64. Out west, some moderate volume southbound 61, Highway P onto 64. 70 looks good at this hour. Now, there was a little bit of volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge, but not much. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine behind their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
We, without hesitation, recommend that anybody work with ThrottleNet. The experience will be as good as it's been for us, for anybody, because you'll get a true partnership and you'll be able to rest easy that you're going to get the service that you need, while they're also doing all those things that you don't want to have to think about, that you don't want to have to worry about. They're always doing that in the background for you.
Don't wait for your next IT crisis. If your business depends on technology, you need a partner that's got your back. Contact ThrottleNet.com to get a free IT evaluation and see how we can support your IT everything.
Your voice, your values. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
The great sportsman like Tom Ackerman.
Baseball's really not a hard sport.
It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
It's like powered by coffee this morning.
Sports, sponsored by McDonald's, reminding you to round up your total for Ronald McDonald House charities on your next order.
Tom Ackerman just walked into the studio here, discovered it was Kim's birthday, and we had to distract him with all those donuts sitting in the back of the studio there, Tom.
I'll check those out. Where are those from?
Donuts Delight. Donut Delight.
Donuts Delight.
Donut Delight. It's up in North County there, Halls Ferry and Dunn Road.
Oh, boy. Did you ever watch DB's Delight?
I was just thinking of that.
Were you really?
Yeah.
I recognize it.
Yeah. Guy Phillips was the host back in the day. It was
a kid show. It was like a quiz show.
It was a locally produced kid show.
Well, this show's my age. I don't know what that is.
DB's Delight. No, Kim would be too young for DB's Delight.
It predated you.
Yeah. But happy birthday.
Yeah. Thank you.
Young lady.
Thank you.
Yesterday was my daughter's birthday.
Aww.
Audrey's 15th.
Happy birthday, Audrey.
It's permit time, right?
Yeah, and it is. So we're going to start going through that process and excited about that.
Does she want to? Because a lot of teens these days, I hear, don't have any interest in getting their driver's license.
She's been asking me about it for a while. So, yeah, she's excited about that. Oh, I just spotted the donuts back there.
I've got your insurance agent is online, too. He'd like to talk to you.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get into that.
Your rates are going up, sir.
Took her to the Blues game last night, and boy, did we have a great time. The Blues, when they found out it was Audrey's birthday, they were very, very kind to her, and she brought the magic, as she always does. She does really well at these sporting events. Teams tend to play well when Audrey shows up. 1-0 win. It was a good win. Joel Hofer with 24 saves. He had the shutout, and the Blues, I thought, were physical. You know, they treated it like a playoff game, I felt like. They showed some desperation to me. I don't think they like Winnipeg very much. The Jets were the team that knocked them out of the playoffs last year, and they don't forget that. There was during a timeout, there was a video feature on they were asking the players your least favorite team or the team that it was Christmas themed. So it was like, who was on the naughty list or whatever. And they all said Winnipeg. I think Colton Parayko said Chicago, but they don't really like Winnipeg very much. So the Jets got the bad end of that, and they played fine. The Jets played fine, but they just couldn't come up with the goal. Hofer looked good. The defense was good. Connor Hellebuck was good for them in net, but he gave up 1 goal. It was scored by Justin Falk. And the Blues got a nice win. Not only that, but they jumped over Winnipeg and Chicago in the standings. So while they're still under 500, they've now climbed into 5th place in the Central Division, and they're 4 points out of a playoff spot in the West. So there's still some time for them to climb. But, I look out there, and I don't see Jordan Kyrou. He's hurt. I don't see Dylan Holloway. He's hurt. They're missing some big goal scorers, so they're going to have to do it like that. They're going to have to play a good, hard, physical, defensive game to survive here for a little while, and then hopefully find a way to string together some wins. It's just been an odd season for them. They were expected to be a playoff contender and a really good one, and they fell flat on their face early in the year, now just trying to figure out how to put it back together.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to bring up the Heisman controversy because I've been reading these comments by Mr. Pavia, Diego Pavia, who apparently felt pretty strongly that he should have won the Heisman and dropped the F-bomb on the many voters who didn't vote for him. I mean, he got swamped in the vote, but is so cocky about it. I mean, you think this hurts his is he an NFL prospect?
I mean, yeah, it hurts. It hurts his image. It hurts his NFL prospects. This was on Saturday night, Mark. After he lost the Heisman, he's posting videos of,
I didn't see that.
F the voters and, F Indiana and all this stuff. I mean, come on,
wow.
Man. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, Fernando Mendoza is easily the Heisman winner. He won in a landslide. Pavia is a good player. Don't diminish the fact that you had a great season by acting like an idiot. I mean, it's pretty simple. You don't go around all year touting, I'm the best, I'm the Heisman winner, I'm this, I'm that. I mean, go out and play and be a team player and lead your team to the playoffs and do what you got to do. This is just the wrong way to go about it, man. It's just not even how the NFL is a business. You ask me if he can be an NFL prospect, they'll put you right back in your place. If you're not,
no kidding.
If you're not a professional, you will not last in the NFL if that's what he wants to do. But I mean, he apologized for it, but the apology looked like it was crafted by Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Somebody told him, "You got to get in front of this. You can't act like that."
Well, I mean, it hurt Shedeur Sanders in the draft. His attitude apparently in some of the pre-draft interviews. And he's come out of that, but it cost him a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, Diego Pavia means nothing to me. I'm a Fernando Mendoza guy. I'm an Indiana guy, and I had the best quarterback. Period. End of story. So if you want to sit there and argue about it, I'll argue it all day. He was easily the best player in the country.
Well, and his team is 12-0.
And by the way, don't diminish again your whole story. Like Pavia's story is pretty cool. He was a kid that, for his entire career, a lot like Mendoza, was not thought to be very good, was not highly rated coming out of high school. He went to New Mexico State. He had to fight for everything. And then he made it through New Mexico State. He goes to Vanderbilt. Again, not a school that's thought to be very good, a school that's been the doormat of the SEC for years. He led them to a great couple of seasons. Why diminish your whole story? It's just like Mendoza's story. Just tell the story. Who cares if you win the Heisman or not?
Somebody said after 6 years in college, you think Pavia would have signed up for at least one course in humility by now.
Yeah, it's also silly.
Clearly not. Let's talk about the
And by the way, you want to line up with IU? We'll beat you by 30. How you like that?
Let's talk about the college football playoffs. They start tomorrow night, right? Alabama.
Yeah, I'll be watching that one. Alabama against Oklahoma. The winner plays Indiana in the Rose Bowl on January 1st. I think Oklahoma is actually the better team because of their defense. Alabama, though, is favored by a point, and the reason why is they have an explosive passing attack. They have the better quarterback in Ty Simpson, and they are Alabama. I mean, they have five-star players all over the place. They just have not been a balanced team. Alabama does not run the ball well at all. But they have some explosive talent on the outside. So if they can get Oklahoma into a situation where they've got them backpedaling and they can throw the ball, then they'll be in good shape. But I expect that Oklahoma will bring it. They're playing at home. They have a really, really good defense. I think it'll be a great contest that'll probably come down to the wire. And, yes, I will be analyzing every second of it and scouting it because the opponent will play Indiana in the Rose Bowl on January 1st.
Right.
And then you have 3 games on Saturday. 2 of them won't really be contests, I don't think. Ole Miss and Tulane. Also, Oregon and James Madison. Those should be pretty lopsided games, I would think. All credit to Tulane and James Madison for making it, but they're not at the caliber. And Oregon should have a field day. And then Texas A&M's Miami is a good game. That's a good one right there. I don't know who wins that, honestly. I think A&M's had a great year, but they looked a little vulnerable, and Miami might be re-energized by being back in this playoff. So that should be a great football game.
Was there any discussion, Tom, of a neutral site for these games? Because, obviously Oklahoma's going to have a home field advantage.
Yeah, well, no, you're rewarding teams for making it.
I guess.
So, and then the reward for the top 4 seeds
is a bye,
which are Indiana and Ohio State and Georgia and Texas Tech. Those teams get a first-round bye. So Indiana doesn't get to play a home game in the playoffs, but that's fine. They'll take the extra week of rest, and by tomorrow night, they will know who they're playing, and Curt Cignetti will dig into the tape, and he will have a plan for the winner of that football game and ready to go. They actually have played in the Rose Bowl. They played in Pasadena last year against UCLA and handled them. They know that building and that whole facility, but this is a different animal. This is the granddaddy of them all. This is the biggest bowl game of them all, and it'll be a great, great moment for everybody on January 1st.
It sure will. When does Diego Pavia play in the playoffs?
Vanderbilt's got they're not in the playoffs. They have a bowl game. Yeah, go look it up.
I knew that.
It'll
I
be
knew
fun.
that.
Yeah,
they do have a bowl, but they didn't qualify for the national championship. That was kind of
no, I know
where I was going there.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming in, Tom.
Hey, thank you, everybody.
We appreciate you.
And happy birthday.
Thank you. Get a donut on your way out.
I got to run and do a sportscast, but I might come back.
You should.
Feel free.
Yeah.
Spread the word. All right. Thanks, Tom. We appreciate that. All right. We're going to be back in just a minute. I'll have to admit that I judge people when I see them walking down the street with their pants already halfway pulled down below their waist. I've been told it's some prison reference. I'm not quite sure why anybody would want to do that, but a lot of people wear their pants that way. And it caught up with a guy trying to flee the police in a pretty epic video. So we're going to talk about that in other news when we get back.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning. We are having a pretty good traffic morning. In fact, if you are just headed out, we generally have light traffic. There was, a stall southbound 170 at 70, and it looks to me like they've gotten that cleared. It's that kind of morning. Just minor things. Now, some moderate volume on southbound 61 as you approach 64, which is slow past Prospect this morning, but again, just moderate volume. 70 looks pretty good from out west into downtown. Northbound 270, it's moderate volume now, but it is in pockets between 21 and Ladue Road. Southbound, a little moderate volume at Ladue Road. We've got a slow go already across the Poplar Street Bridge. Not a jam, but some moderate volume there. And northbound 270, some moderate volume approaching Bayless through the construction zone. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Hey, it's Trisha here, wishing you a happy holiday season. Thank you to the entire 97.1 family for another wonderful year. I'm grateful for all of you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
Give something that means something. Roll up your sleeve at the Odyssey Blood Drive in partnership with the American Red Cross from December 16th through the 19th at multiple locations. Make an appointment in the Red Cross Blood Donor app or redcrossblood.org and enter sponsor code Odyssey for a drive near you.
The colder weather weather is here, and my friends at Hanson's Tree Service want to offer you a 10% winter discount for all tree care scheduled between January and March of next year. Marc Cox here. Call now. Get your spot secured. Also, when it comes to winter plant health care, it's a great time to get one of their arborists over. Have them to prescribe the best treatment options for your trees during the fall and winter season. Tell them you heard Marc Cox talking about it. Schedule your appointment today at hansonstree.com.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholtz of Kaufman Townsley, and this is the sound of our attorneys walking into court. Because when an insurance company offers a lowball settlement, we go to trial, prepping endlessly, interviewing witnesses. We know the loss and the cost of an accident, and when it's needed, we go to war for you and take the fight to the insurance company, because we've been in your shoes. Kaufman Townsley, real people, real results. Call 314-777-7777.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
Are you tired of feeling sick and tired? I'm Dr. Nick Barnes of Health From Within Family Chiropractic. Our simple 5-step approach aligns your health naturally. We correct spinal abnormalities to maximize nerve supply, focus on pure and simple nutrition, exercise and oxygen, mindset, and minimizing toxins in your body. Transform your health today with Health From Within, conveniently located on Manchester in Rock Hill, or online at healthfromwithinstl.com.
This holiday season, when you get them STIHL, batteries are included. Buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit STIHLUSA.com for gift ideas and seasonal savings. Happy holidays from STIHL. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
You're back with Marc Cox and Kim St. Onge. The Marc Cox Morning Show, 97.1 FM Talk.
What's happening?
Go, you know the thing.
What the hell is going on?
In other news.
All right, so some classic video here. I don't know if you missed this or not. The Missouri Highway Patrol is getting ready to arrest a dude in Kansas City. He'd stolen a vehicle. Just for a little bit of advanced knowledge of the case here. He steals a vehicle. The police run into the back of him and force him off the road. And then they start. He gets out of the car and runs. Never a good idea to run when you either don't have a belt or you are intentionally wearing your pants halfway down your rear end, like we see so many people do. I've always thought that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It looks so stupid.
In this particular case, the dude's pants fell down and tripped him, and he was going commando on top of that, so you get a big moon just as he falls to the ground. They had to blur it on the video. Really dumb. A really dumb idea on the part of that dude, and it kind of bit him in the rear end there. He's now under arrest for auto theft.
Pull your pants up and maybe wear some underwear.
You may have more luck stealing cars then. I don't know.
Don't tell us what to do.
You're right. I'm sorry. There's this whole situation out of Mississippi that just blows my mind. This woman was arrested because they said that she put razor blades in several bakery items at different Walmarts. Listen to this, though. They charged her, this is according to the Channel 4 article, charged her with attempted mayhem.
What?
I've never...
That's all?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised it was just attempted mayhem, but I've never even heard of that charge. Attempted mayhem?
Attempted assault? Attempted
right.
murder?
Murder, right.
Swallowed one of those?
It said they found these blades in bread.
Huh.
Yeah,
Did
that's
she
nice.
give a reason? Like, has she been in court?
Crazy.
Given her motive?
Psychotic,
just
evil.
Psycho?
Yeah.
Just blamed the Biden administration? Anything like that? Interesting. All right. We have had one of those little mini robot vacuums for years. First one we had was some off-brand. Then we finally broke down and bought a Roomba. And we've worn out 2 of them now because we have a golden retriever who sheds golden glitter all over our house. She sheds a small dog every day. So this thing runs 7 days a week. And someday I've got to get me one of those English bulldogs that don't shed.
Well, no, they do, just not like a small animal every day.
Well, Roomba, for as much as they cost, I think our last one was probably $600, right? And it still works, and it works really well, and it empties itself when it's done back on its base. I love that. They have filed bankruptcy.
What?
I don't know how that's a thing.
Because people can't afford a $600 vacuum.
Seriously?
Yeah. Wow.
People want the vacuums now that mop. Have you seen those? That's the new thing.
Well, they make those too.
It's genius.
But they make those too.
Wait, what are you saying, Kim? What is
so
it?
it's like a combination mop vac.
It's a Roomba that mops after vacuums.
I wasn't even going to say a Roomba. It's just a regular, cordless vac.
But they've got Roombas that do it.
I didn't see that.
iRobot is restructuring, but they're not going out of business. That's a good thing because I need customer service on occasion.
So they're restructuring. Okay.
Yeah. So they'll still be around, and there are plenty of other companies.
I heard the manufacturer that actually builds them for them is what they're going to buy them.
That's good.
Well, if you don't want to buy someone a new $600 Roomba for Christmas, you might want to consider cryptocurrency because there's some new survey that's indicating that 45% of Gen Z wants crypto as a gift for Christmas this year.
Who does it? Isn't it like $10,000?
Bitcoin is down right now.
Well, but
how much
there's
is it?
plenty of other crypto they could.
Oh, it's still probably $80,000 a coin.
Oh, yeah.
So
I mean, who would not want one of those?
I don't know what the
good point there, Ethan.
Remember somebody
I also want crypto, though.
There was someone started something called Fartcoin, and it was actually gaining traction just because I'm sure people, like Mark, think it's funny and stupid. I'm laughing.
I think it's stupid.
People like it. That is funny. I didn't say I would buy any of it. I just
Marc
said that
Cox,
it was
the number one
that it was
investor in
funny.
Fartcoin.
Fartcoin and 2 expensive robots, apparently, right? Yeah. Anyway, I was trying to tell you, your question was, how much is Bitcoin right now? And I don't know the answer to that. I was trying to get you an answer here, but regardless. They have found thousands of dinosaur footprints near the Winter Olympics venue in Italy. They discovered them in Stelvio National Park, and it was striking for the sheer number of footprints that were discovered in some rock there, apparently. And this is a big deal because they apparently also found some dinosaur teeth, and I'm going to be ordering one of them very soon for my grandson.
Good.
Does it have a letter of authenticity from there?
It will have a letter of authenticity from Stelvio Park. These are like vertical. Like there's people pointing at them, and they're on a wall. So I don't even know what kind of dinosaur footprints they are.
Huh. Man.
Bitcoin's at $87,170.
Oh,
how much?
My God.
87,000.
So I knew it was in the 80 range somewhere. But it's been as high as 100.
That's insane.
So it's down right now is my point.
That's nuts. Hey,
buy the dip.
Did you hear that Elon Musk wants to put AI data centers in outer space?
Better than my backyard.
Well, people are really mad about any data center that's proposed. But yeah, I mean, heck, send them to space.
Yeah, well, see, the problem with that is security. Because they've got these killer satellites that China could park next to you and blow up your data site. I don't think that would be very secure, to be honest.
Star Wars will be
Elon
for real.
understands that whole thing a lot better than I do, so maybe he's got it figured out. Coming up, Senator Josh Hawley is going to join us live at about 7:07, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Make your holidays brighter with the Ruler Foods app. Get exclusive savings, browse the weekly ads, and even order delivery all right from your phone on the Ruler Foods app. Plus, unwrap over $75 in digital coupons every week when you shop with the app. It's the easiest way to save big and keep your season stress-free. Don't wait. Download the Ruler Foods app today and make this holiday merry and affordable. Celebrate the season with low prices on everything you need. Hurry into Ruler Foods today where you'll save more and stress less this holiday. RulerFoods.com.
When you're learning something new, experience matters. At Lifestyles Unlimited, we've spent over 30 years teaching people how real estate investing works and how to build income with a clear, step-by-step strategy. Our program is designed to help you learn what to do, why it works, and how to take action at your own pace. Join today for just $297, a 60% savings off the regular price. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
We're coming up on Christmas very quickly here. Christmas has been and always has been a religious holiday for a lot of people throughout the world. And if not religious, just a celebration for family and friends. It's also the time of year where, while you might be enjoying or you like the holidays, there's people that are suffering, which this time of year is a really, really hard time of year for them. There's people that are suffering this Christmas because this could be their first Christmas without their loved one, husband, wife, mother, father, child, or their second, third, fourth, 10th, 12th Christmas. So for every one of us that believe in God, and we do pray, remember that in your prayers daily, and hopefully that helps and makes a difference and makes it a little bit better in somebody's life that is suffering right now. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. God bless.
No one remembers the tie, the sweater, or the pair of socks they received last year for the holidays, but they will remember the year they learned how to play the piano. Hi, this is Kathy from Lacefield Music. And every year in January, Lacefield Music opens their exciting and innovative 8-week adult piano classes to the public for the incredible price of only $29.99 for all 8 weeks. This class is usually $100, but in January, the classes will be $29.99 for all 8 weeks. With Lacefield Music's adult piano classes, you will learn how to read music, play your favorite songs, and you will play with both your right and your left hand the very first week. This year, instead of buying your loved one more things, buy them an experience and fulfill the dream of learning to play the piano. Class sizes are limited and are filling fast, so call 636-778-2070 for more information, or go to lacefieldmusic.com. That's lacefieldmusic.com to sign up.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Touting year one of term 2. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
11 months ago, I inherited a mess, and I'm fixing it.
President Trump blamed Biden-era policies failing America in a primetime White House address.
But now you have a president who fights for the law-abiding, hardworking people of our country.
The president also says he's bringing prices that had surged down.
Wages are going up much faster than inflation. How big is that?
Later this hour, we'll get an inflation update expected to show a higher annual rate of increase in consumer prices last month.
Democrats say prices are higher, unemployment is rising, and Trump tariffs are hitting American consumers. The latest Fox News polling shows 9 in 10 Americans are concerned about inflation and high prices, about the same as the beginning of this year and higher than the summer of 2021 when inflation was beginning to take hold under the Biden administration.
Fox's Rich Edson at the White House, and touting revenue as tariffs have brought in, the president announced bonus checks for U.S. service members ahead of America's 250th birthday, $1,776 each.
Nobody deserves it more than our military, and I say congratulations to everybody.
The president did not mention last night the U.S. military operation off the Venezuela coast that some Democrats question as illegal, targeting boats said to be trafficking drugs. And there was another strike yesterday, killing 4 more alleged narco-terrorists.
In a social media post, U.S. Southern Command, which also posted unclassified video of the boat as it was struck, said Secretary of War Pete Hegseth ordered the lethal kinetic strike on a vessel operated by a designated terrorist organization in international waters.
That's Fox's Lillian Wu. One survivor of the Brown University shooting remains in critical condition as police keep searching for the gunman who murdered 2 students and wounded 9 Saturday.
This actual physical evidence, there's DNA evidence, there's a lot of evidence that we're collecting.
Providence Police Chief Oscar Perez, they keep also searching for a person of interest. America's listening to Fox News.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Good morning on this Thursday, December 18th. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk. We're in the 50s right now, 53 degrees at 7:03. The Missouri Department of Transportation unveiled new safety measures to help with increased traffic and crashes in St. Charles and Lincoln counties. MoDOT plans to add what's called a dog bone intersection at Highway 61 and W, which means there's essentially a roundabout on either side of the highway. Construction is expected to cost around $35 to $40 million, with a goal of starting that project by 2028. The St. Louis chapter of the NAACP is upset with SSM Health, claiming they aren't hiring enough minorities for construction of the new Cardinal Glennon Hospital. The group says SSM Health received millions in tax dollars under the agreement that 21% of the jobs were supposed to be offered to black-owned businesses and 11% were supposed to be offered to women-owned businesses. That new hospital is going up in Midtown and is expected to open in 2027. A St. Louis firefighter is thankfully okay after falling through the floor of a burning vacant building in North City. Firefighters say this same exact home has burned twice this year, adding that fires at these vacant buildings tend to ramp up when it's cold because people are breaking in to try to stay warm. Channel 4 talked to the property owner, who had this message for squatters: go get a job, get some money, and stop popping up in vacant homes. In sports, hey, a much-needed win for the Blues. Final score against the Jets last night, 1-0. And it's the Rams and the Seahawks for Thursday Night Football. Kickoff 7:15. Coming up on 7:05, 53 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, we just had a report of an accident, Lewis and Clark at Chambers up in North County. But for the most part, we're in good shape. I am seeing a delay. I wonder if it's just an accident that hasn't been reported yet on northbound 270 north of 44. Some slow-moving traffic there. Some moderate volume along northbound 55, especially at Bayless. Eastbound 70 looks great from Wright City into downtown. 61, there's some moderate volume headed for 64, which is slowing at Prospect before it opens up and then looks fine. If you're headed in from Illinois, there's some moderate volume already. Westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. And southbound 94 is jammed at Highway D, and that is not unusual. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
From our family at Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation to yours. Happy holidays.
You want to hurry this up, Mark? I'm freezing my baguettes off.
Relax, Grandpa. Air Comfort Service is on their way. Aubrey, you're not doing anything. You want to let me know when they get here?
Honey, her eyes are frozen shut. Gus!
Avoid a 5-alarm emergency with an HVAC system check from Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Learn more at aircomfortservice.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
We have a cold front and back to the northwest flow today. Cloudy, some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Focus on the rain this morning and early afternoon. Windy from the northwest this afternoon. So the warmest part of the day this morning, 55 degrees, falling to 45 by sunset. Tonight, partly cloudy, windy, and cold, down to 21. Friday, sunny and cold, 38. 56 on Saturday, 43 on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
7:06 right now, 53 degrees. You can listen to the Marc Cox Morning Show or any other show on 97.1 FM Talk anytime or anywhere by downloading the free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
We are sending every soldier $1,776. Think of that. And the checks are already on the way. Nobody understood that one until about 30 minutes ago.
1776 has a nice ring to it, doesn't it, for the men and women serving our country. Welcome back into the Marc Cox Morning Show. That was President Trump speaking to the nation last night, and we've got U.S. Senator Josh Hawley on the line this morning. Senator, welcome back. How are you? Whoops, I'm not hearing him. Senator, are you there?
He was there.
He was there a second ago, wasn't he?
Yeah, I talked to Maddie.
Huh. All right. Well, I will.
Senator,
you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, sorry about that. We had a little glitch in the system there. Good to have you on. I was just playing one of the bites from the president last night where he talked about giving $1,776 to our troops. Your thoughts?
Oh, fantastic. I mean, what a fantastic idea. They deserve it. They've earned it. And, I just thought that the president, and this is a guy who just gave the military a 4% pay raise, which is also long, long overdue. And it's nice to have somebody in office who's not apologizing for our troops, who's not apologizing for America, who's not groveling, but actually wants to stand by the troops and make this country strong again. So I'm all for it. And I hope Congress, that may require congressional authorization, Mark, and I hope that we pass that ASAP.
Yeah, absolutely. Just in general, I mean, I thought the president did a great job of the speech talking about how far we've come in 10 or 11 months. That sometimes gets lost in this affordability the Democrats are argument that they're pushing right now. But when you consider how far we've come on the border and so many other issues with the big, beautiful bill and tax relief and all of that in just a very short period of time.
Well, you think about the border. I'm glad you mentioned it. I mean, Donald Trump has closed the border. And what do you think? I mean, what does that matter to Missouri? It matters because the amount of drugs that have come into our state has just absolutely bottomed out. I mean, for years, we were just getting inundated with drugs from across the southern border. You couldn't go to any school in our state and not find drugs everywhere. And now we see that flow of drugs just collapsing. We see gangs coming into our state and into our country just collapsing. I mean, the president has done a terrific job on that. And as for the economy, you think about the mess he was left by Joe Biden. I mean, for 4 years, devastating our economy, particularly blue-collar workers who couldn't get a break under Biden. Finally, now they're starting to see their wages go up. And is there more work to do? Of course. I mean, there's a lot more work to do. Times are tough thanks to Biden and the inflation that he left us, the low wages that he left us. But, I think you look at what Trump has been able to accomplish, as you said, and just his few months in office, and he's got the country on the right track.
During President Trump's speech last night, of course, he was also talking about health care, and he blamed the Democrats, saying that's why prices have been so high and why we've not been able to get a solution for the American public. What do you make of this, and where does that go from here?
Well, if you want my idea, I mean, I think what we ought to do is we ought to say no taxes on health care. Just like we did no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, we ought to do no taxes on health care. It ought to be that every dollar you spend on health care, like your premiums, your deductibles, your prescription drugs, all should be tax-free. I mean, that would lower the cost of health care across the board, every component of health care immediately for every working person in this country. So, this is something I think we ought to pursue seriously. I'm for doing everything we can to bring down the cost of health care across the board. Premiums need to go down. They are way too high. Deductibles keep going up. Those need to go down. People's prescription drugs are too costly. The president has proposed capping the price of prescription drugs. I'm all for that. I think that would be outstanding. Why are we paying 2 and 3 times more than they're paying in Europe for the same drugs? That's just ridiculous. That's price gouging. So we've got to do everything. I'm an all of the above approach kind of guy. We've got to do everything we can to get those costs down.
Yeah, Senator Josh Hawley, our guest this morning. Do you expect the Senate Democrats to shut down the government again in January?
I'm worried about it. I'll be honest with you, Mark. I'm really worried about it. They seem awfully gleeful about it to me, pretty darn eager. And you think about the pain they put the country through for 5-6 days just this past fall. I mean, terrible, not paying our military servicemen and women, hungry people unable to eat, all because of their political point scoring. And they seem like they want to do it again, Mark. And I just think I warn them against that. It would be a terrible thing for our state. It would be a terrible thing for the country, for our military, for working people. I hope they don't do it, but it just shows you they're so focused on politics and doing what they think will be good for them politically. They don't care who they hurt in the process. They need to get focused on serving the people of this country. That needs to be priority number one.
That's a great point. Yeah, I saw yesterday, I believe it was Senator Grassley released some emails that have been discovered from the FBI suggesting that they were opposed to that raid on Mar-a-Lago, and yet the Biden Justice Department pushed them to do it. Have you seen that, and can I get your reaction to it?
I have seen it. I think it's absolutely unconscionable, but in a way, sadly, not surprising. I will say it sheds a good light on the FBI. It speaks well for them that they were warning against this and saying, we don't believe we have a case for this. We don't believe we could actually satisfy a warrant requirement. We think we're really stretching it here. And yet you see Merrick Garland's DOJ saying, no, full steam ahead. This was political from the first. We all knew that it was. It was about persecuting Donald Trump. It was about going after anybody who stood in the way of Joe Biden. These are the same people who sent SWAT teams to the homes of pro-lifers, the same people who activated the FBI's anti-terrorism division against parents at school board meetings, the same people who tapped my phone. I mean, they came after all of us, anybody who would stand up. So many people in our state who got knocks on their doors from the FBI, got contacted by them in one way or another. I've heard from folks who got censored on social media at the behest of DOJ. We've never had a period like that in our country. I never want to go back to that again. And the people who did it need to be held accountable.
So it looks like your former fellow Attorney General Andrew Bailey from here in Missouri is going to be the number 2 man in the FBI if Dan Bongino follows through on his promise to walk away in January. How about that?
Oh, I'm excited for Andrew Bailey and for the country. I mean, Andrew is a terrific prosecutor. He was a terrific attorney general. I was sorry that we lost him, but it's the country's gain. And now I think he's already doing that job. I mean, he's co-deputy director now. I assume he'll step into the role as the sole deputy director once Bongino leaves here in a month or so. And he'll just be terrific. I mean, he's a huge asset. He's a career lawman, former military, of course, has served our country in so many capacities, and he's going to be just terrific at the FBI.
Here in Missouri, we're certainly hoping that next year that the fix for Amendment 3 will be passed. And I understand that you just launched a group called Love Life Initiative. It's a pro-life mission. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, this is something that my wife Erin and I are doing together. You know, Erin is fighting in courtrooms for the innocent unborn all across the country. She just argued at the United States Supreme Court a couple of weeks ago, defending a pregnancy care center who a state, New Jersey, is persecuting, trying to shut down all of these liberals all across the country, trying to destroy these pregnancy care centers that give women free health care when they're facing an unexpected pregnancy. And so I just am so proud of Erin. She has been in court, in the Supreme Court, fighting for them. And now we've launched this initiative together. And it's really just trying to promote the value of life, the value of family. That's obviously the most important thing to us. And so we just want to do our part to promote that. And in Missouri, yes, we're going to have the chance to protect our kids and put that back in the Constitution, in our state Constitution. You know, right now, transgender operations on minors are constitutionally protected in the state of Missouri. We can't go on like that. We've got to fix the law, and we will have the opportunity to do that, the opportunity to end abortion on demand. Again, right now in Missouri, abortion on demand is in our state constitution. We have to fix that. We'll have the opportunity to do it this fall, and we want to do all we can to educate folks and encourage them to love life, to love family, and to protect life.
Well, thank you for doing that. It's going to be a big effort, and we need some of those people who have money in their pockets, who believe in life and oppose abortion, to step forward and counter this a little bit, right? Because we know millions of dollars will flow into Missouri again from out of state.
Oh, so true. And did last time,
Yes.
Just over a year ago when we had a similar referendum, the amount of money from outside the state, dark money coming in from outside the state, is just unprecedented, Mark. And we will see it again. They will try to buy this election. But, the people of Missouri are so independent and these are folks who, they don't like to be snowed. They don't like to be led on. And people, I think, are going to look at this very carefully. And I predict what they're going to say is, wait a minute. We're not for abortion on demand in Missouri. Wait a minute. We're not for transgender operations on minors in Missouri. They're going to want to fix this. And I think we've got a great opportunity to do it come next fall.
Well, Senator, Merry Christmas to you and Erin and your family.
Thanks. Same to you. Merry Christmas.
All right. Take care of yourself. Senator Josh Hawley there live in the swamp this morning. So I'm glad we were able to get him on here and get a few things answered. It's going to be a big effort next year. We're going to talk a lot more about it as we head into January for sure. Coming up, former senator, the guy that used to have that job, Jim Talent, in just a couple of minutes. Stay tuned.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
On the roads this morning, it hasn't been bad, but we do have some volume out there. Northbound 55, of course, at Bayless. We've got some moderate volume along northbound 270 between 55 and Manchester. 70 eastbound, there was a slow go, but again, just moderate volume at Bryan Road, and then it pretty well opens up. 64, a little slow at Prospect, and then it opens up. So not a bad morning. On the Illinois side, it's quiet as well. And periodically, we see some moderate volume westbound on the Poplar, but for the most part, we're good. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Little forecast. There was already some rain falling this morning. We might get a little more this afternoon, depending on where you are in the area. Maybe even a thunderstorm. I don't know. If you know, though, that rain means a leak in your basement, you're probably already dreading that. You're hoping, gosh, I hope I'm not on that part of the listening area that gets some more rain. I don't need that. My friend Matt Hayes can help you. He's a foundation expert who will join you in fixing that basement problem once and for all. 314-227-9636. That rings through to Home Shield Foundation Repairs, and Matt Hayes is the guy. He's the chief cook and bottle washer. He's the foundation expert of this local family-owned company, and he's the guy that's going to be there in your house. Now, you hear me talking about him. You can talk to him about that. He listens to the show, I know, because he texts me every once in a while. Usually there are pictures of jobs he's done for our listeners, and I love that. So if there's a crack in the wall, he'll waterproof it and give you a guarantee. If it's something more serious, like a structural problem, he will use Invisibeam by Fortress. It comes with a lifetime guarantee, which gives you peace of mind because that foundation holds up your house. You need to make sure it's in great shape. Look on their video. Let the videos on their website explains everything they do, including their polyjacking, where they can level up concrete that has sunk due to erosion. They can do that as well. Again, 314-227-9636. Online at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
Tired of mice? Point Pest Control finds their entry points, eliminates the infestation, and seals them out for good with our exclusion services. Mention Annie to get 10% off on top of any other special. Call 636-798-0023. Visit pointwithan.com.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
A major factor in driving up housing costs was the colossal border invasion. We have never been invaded. This is the worst thing that, frankly, in my opinion, the worst thing that the Biden administration did to our country is the invasion at the border.
All right, Jim Talent, former Missouri senator, back with us right now, and that was obviously part of the president's speech last night where he laid out his indictment of what had been when he came into office, Jim.
Yeah, and I think I'm pleased that is part of the message. The vice president did the same thing. I've seen other actors from the administration doing the same thing, and I'm glad that they are focusing more on the economy and also talking about how difficult the situation was when they came in, because I think that's an important part of the message. So, yeah, that was a real plus.
Yeah, well, I mean, I listened to Senator Katie Britt on talking about the speech and how she felt it was one of the best ones that he could have given. It was that the timing was perfect. You got all of this talk of the affordability issue out there, and the president wanted to come on and maybe, I don't know, reinforce his argument that he's dealing with it as fast as he can. He's only been in office for 10 or 11 months, and none of these price increases, with the possible exception of maybe some Chinese product related to a tariff, have gone up because of his policies. He's trying to bring them down by bringing some manufacturing back, but it doesn't happen overnight.
No, and the vice president, again, was very explicit about that. I mean, I thought it was a good speech. I like the fact, I've been calling for this for months and months, that they focus more on the economy in their messaging. There's a really good story to tell. I liked, if I contrast this with what Vance did in Pennsylvania, I like the fact that Vance is saying to people, look, things are getting better, but we understand that you may not be feeling it yet because some people aren't, okay? And just give us a little more time. And then talk about the numbers, which are extremely impressive. I mean, wages up 4.2%, outpacing inflation. I went down this list, which is why we have 2.6 million more people employed. Gas prices are down. GDP is growing at 3.5%. That's a boom. And this is the second quarter in a row. The numbers are going to be very good. Taxes, when the tax bill cuts in next year, it's going to deliver to the average family of four about $7,000 to $11,000 a year more. And all of this while the deficit is going down. I saw Kevin Hassett, who is the head of the Council of Economic Advisors, say the other day that the deficit's going to be down $600 billion from last year. So all this is good news, but I don't think a lot of people are feeling it yet. And so when you communicate, Mark, I think it's good to identify with that the way Vance did. But I like the speech. I mean, I think they're moving towards a more powerful message, and I feel very content about it. I mean, and the president's doing his bit. Now he's doing it the way the president does it, right?
Right.
So, but really, he needs he's sending the signal. This is what I've seen Hassett, I've seen Bessent, I've seen the labor secretary. Obviously, Carolyn Levitt is out with this message. So I think this is going to be the script going forward, and it's based on reality. So, yeah, I mean, I'm pleased by it, and he delivered it with the usual Trumpian flourishes, didn't he? I mean, set piece speeches are interesting for the president because he delivers the text, but he also comments on the text while he's delivering it.
Right.
And I don't know any other politician like that.
That's true.
Well, we just talked to Senator Josh Hawley, and he was saying he'd like no tax on health care. Because obviously that's the big question is, what are we going to do with this? Because as Trump called it last night, the Unaffordable Care Act is not working.
Yeah, and they're going to work on health care reform a lot next year. This is not something we're going to turn around real quickly. They've got some good ideas in the House. I love their reliance on association health plans, and I'll say I passed that bill out of the House 3 or 4 times in the late 90s when I chaired the Small Business Committee. It's a great idea. I could go on with it. But I think we have to be careful about expectations on health care because it's a system. It's a system that is very good for people who have good insurance. There are costs in it that can be brought down and need to be brought down. And I think what they're going to end up doing, Kim, is I think they're going to end up with some kind of ongoing relief in terms of these subsidies that's going to be short term while they work on a longer term fix, which is I think the right way of approaching it. I think that's what the Congress is going to do. And And the changes are going to be driven largely from the Congress, I think.
Right. And Jim, do you worry? I'm just thinking of people here in our listening area in Missouri and Southern Illinois that if they have become dependent upon these subsidies, they're going to feel the pinch, even if they get a bigger tax refund next year because of the big, beautiful bill. And the Democrats, I think, are going to very effectively argue in the midterms, we tried to fix this and the Republicans wouldn't let us. And somehow we've got to ease people's concerns about that and tell them the truth that you wouldn't be in this situation if the Democrats hadn't put these subsidies out there and increased them to $600,000 a year per person, per family during COVID.
Yeah, and that's already part of the message. It's true, and they're going to continue with it. And look, I think we're all worried about the political impact of it. So those of us who want the president and his agenda to succeed, I think you got to have a little faith in the American voter. And if you communicate consistently and you have a good message, which I think we do. I mean, I've been saying for a long time, Mark, that the midterms are going to turn largely on where the economy is, and then the nuts and bolts of politics. Are the candidates good? Are they being supported properly? Those are the kinds of issues I think are going to make going to determine the outcome of the midterms.
That's true.
This is where everybody's just got to calm down, carry on, and they're starting to do it.
Jim, Merry Christmas to you and the family.
And same to you all.
Yeah, great having you on. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you. All right, former Senator Jim Talent back here in just a minute.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Land Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit lance.drurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Scott, can you believe it's already been more than a decade since the Queen of Carpets sold flooring to St. Louis area contractors?
I know, but I don't have to be a king to offer contractors today's lowest prices.
Yes, contractors owe it to their customers and themselves to shop at Best Buy Flooring for the largest in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile.
Plus 3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and Metro East.
Open 7 days a week.
Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy. Best Buy Flooring.
Good morning. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk. Coming up on 7:30 here this Thursday, December 18th, 53 degrees right now as you're stepping out the door. Well, the search is on this morning for the person who shot and killed a boy in his early teens in South City. This shooting happened around 6 o'clock last night in the 3600 block of Oregon. Police say they don't know exactly how old that boy was, the victim. They do believe he was younger than 16. At this point, no suspect description has been released. A family known for owning wineries here in Missouri is apparently going all in on an NHL team. A Hockey Insider is reporting the Hoffman family is buying the Pittsburgh Penguins. An official announcement is expected in the coming days. In sports, Blues beat the Jets last night. Final score of that game 1-0. And it's the Rams and the Seahawks for Thursday Night Football, kickoff 7:15. I'm Kim St. Ange for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Watch out for an accident eastbound 70 approaching 170. They've got the center lanes closed. Traffic is stacking up behind that. We also have an accident reported on westbound 70 west of Wentzville before you get to Forestel, and that's causing a delay. Eastbound 70 this morning, just moderate volume. Lake St. Louis Boulevard through 79 in some pockets there. Southbound 61, not bad, just slow, ramping on to 64. And some moderate volume at Prospect. Westbound, some moderate volume at Clayton Skinker. And we've got northbound 55 slowing at Bayless this morning. A little bit of volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge, but not much. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. I'll tell you what, if you are a person who has been thinking about retirement, but starting to wonder if you're truly prepared, this is the entire reason that financial and tax architects exist. For those of us who know, man, that retirement is coming up quickly, and I have saved, but now what? Do I know any retirement strategies? Do I know how to handle taxes in retirement? How do I claim Social Security and when? This is what FTA does. They put on a class at colleges throughout the area, and it's called Retirement Planning 101. It's just one night. It's 2.5 hours. But it gives you kind of a grip on what's happening. Here's how retirement works financially. And you have to register, but it's free. So go ahead and go and start learning how things work. This is what makes me able to sleep at night, if I understand how things work and I've got a handle on it. So go to FTA-RIA.com. That's F as in Frank, FTA-RIA.com. Reserve your seat and kind of see what they're about at FTA, and you'll start feeling better about retirement.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Grandpa had a soft spot for dogs.
Yeah, he always had treats in his pocket.
He said if you're going to take care of people, you better take care of their best friends too.
Is that why we help dog shelters?
That's right. For every service call, we donate 10 pounds of dog food to local dog shelters, helping dogs waiting for a home.
Grandpa would like that.
He sure would.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
God, remember when the Queen of Carpet and the Princess of Pile were flying around the arch selling flooring?
Andrea, that was the Queen of Carpet and the Princess of Tile.
Oh, that's right. But we don't need shtick here at Best Buy Flooring.
That's right, because our in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile are already at low, low prices.
Come see us at our 3 area locations, North County, South County, and Metro East. Open 7 days a week.
Plus, free financing on approved credit. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
25 years strong. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
What in the hell's diversity?
Well, I could be wrong, but I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
as only Ron Burgundy can tell you what in the hell is diversity? Of course, the show there, the movie, was set back in the newsrooms of the 1970s. You might have picked up on that by the polyester suits and the broad ties and the porn star mustaches that Ron Burgundy wore during that show. And I bring that up because, Kim, I read an article yesterday that but parts of it shocked me, but at the same time, I kind of knew it to be true, but I hadn't really seen it in writing. And it kind of crosses generations, right? And I thought it was something we should probably talk about this morning because I don't know. Donald Trump has done so much in a short period of time to combat what we call diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? He has. And, Jen, are you a millennial?
Yes.
You're a millennial, right?
Yeah, I think I'm on. No, I forget when millennials. It's like
80,
early
40s
or something.
Early 80s to the mid 90s.
Late 80s.
So you're a millennial.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's Gen X, which of course followed the baby boomers. So the last year the baby boomers was like 64, and then there was Gen X to the early 1980s, and then at some point in the 80s it switched over to millennials, and then if you're keeping track, in the mid 90s came Gen Z, and now what are they calling them? Is it Gen X or something these days? No, that was Gen X.
Like Gen Alpha or something.
Gen Alphas. Yeah, those would be my kids.
Great article yesterday in that somebody drew to my attention in a online forum called Compact Magazine, compactmag.com, and it's called The Lost Generation. The guy that wrote this was a guy named Jacob Savage, and I would love to get him on here to talk about this, but he's talking about the generation that got lost because of DEI. And if you track this back, this hits at about the same time Ferguson happened. And it actually was going on before that, but it got infinitely worse. I'm going to read a little bit of this so you have an idea where he's coming from. This guy was a script writer in L.A. He moved there in January of 2016 to try to get hired as a writer in Los Angeles. And he was working with another guy, and they had a couple of projects going on, and they'd written a script they thought was pretty good. And one of the veterans invited them in to talk about their pilot and said they wanted to hire us. We thought that was it because most people, it takes them about 5 years to get their first job for the older guys we knew who'd made it. But by 2016, he realized he was already too late. We met with the guy who told us that he loved our pilot, but all of the other high-level writers were white men, and they couldn't hire them because of their gender or because of their race. Maybe if they'd been white women, it would have been different. But this is talking in the show business industry about and journalism about how the switch turned there at some point, and it was a career ender for many people who happened to be born white and happened to be males in this particular case. The doors seemed to close everywhere and all at once for this generation. The year I moved to L.A. in 2011, white men were 48% of lower-level TV writers. By 2024, they accounted for just 11.9%. The Atlantic's editorial staff went from 53% male, 89% white in 2013 to 36% male, 66% by 2024. And he goes on to explain that in retrospect, 2014 was the hinge, the year DEI became institutionalized across American life. And the article just goes on to explain that this isn't a story about all white men. It's a story about white male millennials in professional America, about those who stayed and mostly stayed quiet. So this is his argument here. If you were 40 in 2014, in other words, born in 1974, beginning your career in the late 90s, you were already established. If you were only 30 in 2014, you hit the wall because the mandates to diversify didn't fall on older white men who in many cases were already in positions of power. They landed on us. He's talking about himself. And he goes on to express and explain in this article around journalism and writing and all of that, how they made the switch. And they were unapologetic for it. They wanted the most diverse and inclusive thing they could find, whether they were the best person for the job or not. So what he's describing here is the reverse discrimination that we all know has gone on in this country in the name of diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's reverse discrimination. Who's to say how many great projects never happen because those guys didn't get hired because they already had too many white males in the room? Right.
Which is why I was so dumbfounded as I'm reading this news story about the NAACP mad at SSM Health for not hiring enough minorities.
Well, they're not
for the construction of the new Cardinal Glennon Hospital.
Just going to pile on now.
But listen to that. So they're saying that because they receive millions of dollars in tax money that they had to agree, supposedly, that 21% of the jobs were supposed to be offered to black-owned businesses and 11% were owned to women-owned businesses. They were just mad in general. Hey, you don't have enough minorities. You know what? I don't care if every single person working on a construction project is black. If they're the best person for the job, I don't care if they're Latino. I don't care. Why does it matter?
But the people that instituted this did it because progressive liberals walk around with a lot of guilt, and they feel like they need to make up for something that happened before they were born. It's crazy. Is what it is.
Remember you were told in 2020, you have to be anti-racist. It's not enough just to not be racist. You have to be anti-racist, which means that you're apologetic about your skin color and the way that you were born, and that you are taking active steps to acknowledge your privilege, and that you're also giving a listening ear. Even more than your opinion matters, their opinion matters. And you should shut up, Mark, and you should listen to what they have to say and learn from them.
And imagine all the people that are gleeful about what happened when that switched. But this is, as somebody pointed out yesterday, I was listening to, this is a canary in the coal mine. This is just one industry. This is the creative industry. Think about how it's been put into practice in journalism. I would imagine that white males graduating from a journalism program these days who want to get into TV or writing for newspapers are just SOL. I mean, that's just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. And President Trump has done an admirable job of addressing this issue within these institutions of higher learning and some of these corporations that have reversed some of their woke policies that we can see, but it's the ones you can't see that are still there and still in full operation. And how do you reverse it? If you tried to reverse it, you'd be accused of discrimination. But when it was put into place, it was just fine, and you better shut your mouth and not say anything about it. Because we're getting even for something that happened before you were born. This is our reparations for something that happened before you were born. And the article is called "The Lost Generation" by Jacob Savage. I would urge you to go out and read it, and maybe share it with that generation if you know somebody that falls into that time frame.
So born after 1979, you said?
70. Somebody that was, what did he say?
I think you said born after 1979. So in 2014, they would have been 40.
Yeah.
That was the cutoff, I think.
Yeah. He said a decade apart meant entirely different professional fates. If you were 40 in 2014, which means you were born in 1974, you were already established. If you were only 30 in 2014, you hit the wall. Because the mandates to diversify didn't fall on older white men who in many cases still wield enormous power. They landed on us.
Can I just admit something? I'll probably get hate for this, but that's fine. But I used to buy into all this junk. And I remember, I think it was the height of 2020, and I'm working for Channel 4, and I'm covering all these riots and protests. But this was really before it got super violent downtown, because at that point I had kind of switched my mindset and I was becoming very conservative. But I remember remember that black square that everybody was posting, particularly on Instagram, to show more or less solidarity. It was more or less the Black Lives Matter whole thing of post this to show that you're in support. Okay. I remember posting that on my social media, and man, some people who love me, one person in particular, we would debate about it, and something finally clicked for me, and I realized how ridiculous it was that I was expected as a white woman to feel bad about the color of my skin. And I went back and I later deleted it, but it's so odd thinking back to just how I used to be, all this junk I bought into.
Somebody pointed out that affirmative action in the early 1970s was the push for affirmative action. And I think maybe to some extent that had a topical impact. I don't know that it worked its way down into the HR department, and that quotas were being put out on who we hire and who we don't, not based on their skill set, but based simply on their ethnicity, their color. We need more people who are Asian. We need more people who are black. We're not going to hire that person, even if they may be the most qualified. And what should frighten everyone about this is anybody that gets on an airplane or has to undergo surgery in the next few years, because they're doing the same thing in medical schools. It's not the person best equipped to be trained to be a doctor because they got the best test scores and they're the smartest person in the room. If they were the wrong color, they weren't getting into those programs to begin with. And they may now be working as nurses or something else, but they're not doctors because the medical schools wouldn't allow them in because they hit their quotas. This is what the Asians sued Harvard about, because they were getting the best test scores, but they weren't being allowed in based on that. They were quotas based on race. And this just is sort of a microcosm for what's happened. All right, what are we talking about in Kim on a Whim?
Funny you were just talking about DEI and the way it was impacting the workforce, because clearly it's crept into so many of the universities across the country. I have to tell you what was just a group that was just approved at one of the colleges. This should blow your mind, but sadly we know this is just how it is in 2025.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Accident eastbound 70 approaching 170. They've got the two right lanes blocked and traffic stacks up at Lindbergh. We have an accident reported eastbound 70 at Lake St. Louis Boulevard, but I'm only seeing moderate volume in that area. Westbound 70, this is an accident, and it's reported it's somewhere between Wentzville and David Hochul Parkway, if that helps. So look for a slow go through there. And eastbound 44, we've got a slow go this morning, really close to Wabash, which of course is going to be just east of Shrewsbury. In that area, there's an accident reported. If you're headed in from Illinois, there's an accident westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge causing delays. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, Victory Men's Health is about to expand again up in Edwardsville. So if you're living that neck of the woods, very soon you're going to have your very own Victory Men's Health location up there that's going to be very unique and different than a lot of the others, with additional opportunities for you to improve your health. So when that's open, I'll be sure and let you know. Right now, all you have to do is go down to O'Fallon, Illinois, where they have a location. Of course, in Missouri, they're in Town and Country, O'Fallon, Missouri, and the newest location in Sunset Hills currently. Guys, it's just a life changer. It's what it is. When you go to Victory Men's Health, you walk in the door, you're not visiting with people who are maybe general practitioners who deal with everybody. They deal specifically with men's health issues. It's a game changer for you for that reason. They're going to take a blood panel. They're going to find out what's missing. If you're low on testosterone for your age, they're going to potentially supplement that for you. If you've got vitamin deficiencies because you're grabbing a burger at lunch and you haven't had a vegetable that you can remember in ages other than a French fry, they can determine what those deficiencies are, and they can get you supplements that can help balance your body out a little bit. They can help you with weight loss, sexual health issues, you name it, at Victory Men's Health. Visit one of the locations near you today. Tell them Marc Cox sent you. It's victorymenshealth.com.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, it's Scott Jennings. Thanks to the 97.1 FM Talk listeners for a great 2025. Wishing you and yours a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
From all of us at 97.1 FM Talk.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available as a tablet or a delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Hi, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, America's largest family law firm. During this time of year, difficult relationships sometimes become impossible. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25-plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, IGotFloor.com.
truth, backbone. Marc Cox on 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis conservative. Kim on a whim.
A student government at a New York college has approved a new furry club on campus, joining a growing number of similar student groups at colleges and universities across the country. Mark, we were joking about this a couple weeks ago. Oh, I'm sure there's a furry club. Well, here it is. And it's certainly not the only one. This is a trend, like I just read, that's happening more and more, even though Donald Trump has been telling these schools, cut it out, stop with the ridiculousness. And it seems like some of these student groups are doubling down on it. And the fact that this was approved at that New York college in an 11-1 vote.
Who was the one?
That's a good question. I'd like to speak with that person.
I bet it was this guy.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Thank you. Platts
Maybe it was that
Fur.
guy.
Platts Fur is the name of the group if you're interested in joining. It was pitched as a safe space for furries to socialize and create content around a joint interest. It currently has 17 members. And here is what this anthropology major at that school said. We aim to not only have social dialogues, but also incorporate certain elements of crafts as well as arts, and not only teach methods, but also invite people to explore stuff they may not have done before.
Like you get to try the other guy's furry outfit on? I mean, exactly what are they talking about here?
Well, I don't really know, and I don't know if I want to know because the whole thing is very odd to me. To me, it's mental illness. And for so many people to be celebrating this and just saying, yeah, you know what? If you want to dress up like a tiger and run around, roaring, you do that. You be you. This is where we've gone off the tracks in so many ways, is people just saying, live your truth out. If you feel like you're a kangaroo, then sure, jump around, and we should make everyone call you a kangaroo. And it's offensive if you don't. Listen to this. In the past 2 years, several U.S. colleges, like I said, have launched these furry clubs, including one at Minnesota State University. There's another one at it says California Polytechnic State University, another one at California State University, University of Tennessee. I mean, come on.
Really? They put up with that stuff in Knoxville?
I was a little surprised about that, too. I thought that Trump... I understand this isn't the same...
Well, I didn't know they had clubs to let you dress up like them.
What does a meeting even look like? The Platts Fur group that was already approved in New York has already hosted a coloring page meet and greet and a campfire meetup for students. It should
look like the common room in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, where they're all in an insane asylum. That when we're on Honest Society again.
What was that? What was that movie again?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Why?
I can't. I'm trying to let it go. Ethan, say it.
It's cuckoo. Okay, whatever. That's what it is. When we're an honest society again, we'll be able to look at these people and say, you need help, and we're going to get you some mental health counseling, instead of pretending that it's okay that you dress up like a furry animal because it's your safe space.
Right. That's what it's become for a lot of people. Our
college campuses are bonkers, honestly.
But so Donald, I understand this isn't the same as like DEI, where they were not, allowing Asian students in at the same rate that they were other students. I understand this is different, but I thought that Donald Trump was trying to squash a lot of this, and maybe this has nothing to do with what Trump was trying
I don't think so.
I mean,
well, remember,
but this is would tax dollars. If this is a public university, would tax dollars that, like the University of Tennessee, that's not a private university, so. I mean, but
they're probably not federal tax dollars, but they probably have grants.
State.
And once they're identified, remember the school down in Louisiana that declined to allow a Turning Point chapter on campus, but probably has a furry chapter. That's the kind of insanity they've taken over. The libs own college campuses.
Well, maybe
and they
that's
do whatever they want.
Because I wouldn't want someone to be denied for a TPUSA chapter, but like you said, that's what's happening. Is they're being denied a conservative chapter, but then they're allowing these types of groups. Yeah. So I guess you have to balance it out.
I guess. I don't know.
We need to get some serious counseling into these universities. That's what maybe needs to be. The money needs to go to counselors at a lot of these universities.
There's some news out this morning that Libs of TikTok has broken this story. about Illinois State Police and how the DEI training is going over there that they're forcing on every member of law enforcement in the state of Illinois. I'll talk more about it coming up in the next hour. Plus, Shannon Bream and Griff Jenkins. Stay tuned.
The ACA Market Plan has just announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg, and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Setting goals for your retirement is one thing, but knowing how to achieve those goals is another. For tips on building a better nest egg, listen to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Saturday mornings at 6 or Saturday afternoon at 4, right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Hey guys, are you dealing with low energy, weight gain, or issues in the bedroom? Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, and they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. Get in, get answers, get back to the top of your game. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Again, that's GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
News on the economy President Trump will like. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Instead of rising like expected, there was less inflation last month.
The prices you pay for things rose at a smaller pace in November. The Consumer Price Index was up 2.7% for the year ending in November. Core CPI, excluding food and energy, rose 2.6%. Economists were predicting both numbers would top 3%.
Fox's Ginny Casola. We also got an unemployment update. First-time jobless claims fell by 13,000 last week, down to 224,000, though the number of people continuing to collect jobless benefits rose to almost 1.9 million. Now, President Trump says,
very importantly, there are more people working today than at any time in American history.
In his address to the nation last night, he also told us,
for the first time in years, wages are rising much faster than inflation.
The president says he's fixing a mess he inherited from President Biden.
We had the worst trade deals ever made, and our country was laughed at from all over the world. but they're not laughing anymore.
And touting all the revenue his tariffs have brought in, the president announced he's giving U.S. military members a bonus check, $1,776 each. The Senate's Democratic leader was critical of the Trump speech. Chuck Schumer, in a statement, says the president lives in a bubble, completely disconnected from the reality everyday Americans are seeing and feeling, adding unemployment is going up and prices are going up. President Trump did not mention the U.S. military operation off the Venezuelan coast. Democrats question as illegal. There was another strike yesterday on a boat suspected of trafficking drugs, killing another 4 alleged narco-terrorists. New York is getting a new archbishop. Pope Leo has appointed somebody who, like him, is from Illinois. Bishop Ronald Hicks, who just said at a news conference,
I asked him to tell the Holy Father that I say yes with great humility.
Bishop Hicks replaces the retiring Cardinal Timothy Dolan, considered a prominent conservative in the U.S. Catholic Church. America's listening to Fox News.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It is Thursday, December 18th. I'm Kim St. for 97.1 FM Talk. We're in the 50s, 53 degrees now at 8:03. The Missouri Department of Transportation unveiled new safety measures to help with increased traffic and crashes in St. Charles and Lincoln counties. MoDOT plans to add what's called a dog bone intersection at Highway 61 and W, which means there's a roundabout on either side of the highway. Construction is expected to cost around $35 to $40 million, with a goal of starting the project by 2028. The St. Louis chapter of the NAACP is upset with SSM Health, claiming they aren't hiring enough minorities for construction of the new Cardinal Glennon Hospital. The group says SSM Health received millions in tax dollars under the agreement that 21% of the jobs were supposed to be offered to black-owned businesses and 11% offered to women-owned businesses. That new hospital is going up in Midtown and expected to open in 2027. A St. Louis firefighter thankfully is okay after falling through the floor of a burning vacant building in North City. Firefighters say the same home has burned twice this year, adding that fires at these vacant buildings tend to ramp up when it's cold because people are breaking in to stay warm. Channel 4 talked to the property owner, who had this message for squatters: go get a job, get some money, and stop popping up in vacant homes. In sports, hey, a much-needed win for the Blues. Final score against the Jets last night, 1-0. Blues playing the Rangers at home tonight. Puck drops at 7 o'clock. And it is the Rams and the Seahawks for Thursday Night Football. Kickoff, 7:15. 8:04 is our time. Temperature downtown at the Arch, 53 degrees. I'm Kim St. for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We've got an accident right now on eastbound 44 approaching Jamison. Watch for the left lane to be blocked through there. Traffic, of course, is stacking up behind it. Now, we also had an accident westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge that has left us with some slow-moving traffic back through 64. And an accident eastbound 70 approaching 170. This one, they've moved off as far to the right as they can. Still some volume past the airport. And now, they're calling it an accident, but it looks like just a delay on northbound 170 on either side of Natural Bridge, a slow go. We look fine through North County at this hour. Westbound 70, jammed west of Wentzville, an accident out there. But eastbound 70, not bad until you get to that accident site near 170. 64, not bad. Moderate volume at Timberlake Manor and then in pockets east of Lindbergh through Big Bend. And 55 is slowing northbound at Bayless. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
We have a cold front and back to the northwest flow today. Cloudy, some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Focus on the rain this morning and early afternoon. Windy from the northwest this afternoon. So the warmest part of the day this morning, 55 degrees, falling to 45 by sunset. Tonight, partly cloudy, windy, and cold, down to 21. Friday, sunny and cold, 38. 56 on Saturday, 43 on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
8:06 our time, 53 degrees. You can listen to the Marc Cox Morning Show or any other show on 97.1 FM Talk anytime or anywhere. Just download the free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Glad you're back with us a few minutes after 8 here on your Thursday morning. And if you missed it, we had, of course, Senator Josh Hawley on 1 hour ago. You are welcome to go back and pick that up on the podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, you can get the Marc Cox Morning Show, 971talk.com, the Odyssey app, wherever you download your podcasts. You can find us there, and we break the show down by segments so you can find the interview with Senator Hawley and get more of his reaction to the president, his speech last night, what he's done on the border, his thoughts on Amendment 3, which is back on the ballot for the of course the fall here next November. People will vote on it, and the kind of campaign it's going to take, hopefully, to get a rollback of these ridiculous rules that got voted in last year, falsely, I believe, because of the fake campaign that was run to pass it. I think they deceived people, and hopefully we can correct that mistake this next November. We shall see. Soon we're going to get to Shannon Bream and Griff Jenkins. Maybe we'll get Shannon's thoughts on the president's speech to the nation last night. I walk in the studio, and Ethan drops this bomb on me. The Chicago Bears are making noise about leaving Chicago. Can you imagine?
They said they've been up there for 100 years.
Well, I know.
I don't see that happening.
Was it the Hallis family that ran the Bears up there? Was that? Have I got that right? I can't remember.
I believe so.
Yeah. Well, we've got a stadium over here that's not being used.
Yeah, it's in really good. It's in really good shape. It just needs millions and millions of dollars in renovations.
But it's got one thing that Chicago Stadium doesn't have. It doesn't have 45 mile an hour, wind coming off the lake, making it 12 below zero for every game. They could play in a dome down here.
Well, and the players are used to the crime.
Do you think? It's true. Don't you think it'd be a safer environment overall? I mean, usually Chicago's a little more dangerous. At least more people die up there.
It's true.
We could get the Bears down here. You think people would embrace the Bears in St. Louis?
I don't know if St. Louis will ever embrace NFL again. We've been burned twice.
We've been burned twice. Yeah. And continue.
I wish they would, but I don't know. Everybody I talked to said there's no way.
Yeah, that rumor was floating around about the Cincinnati Bungles a while back too, because they were. Anytime a team is negotiating for more taxpayer dollars to fix their stadium up, they threaten to leave. Now, in Stan Kroenke's case, he had already purchased the land for his stadium in L.A. at the time when he claimed he was just thinking about it. I mean, that deal was done before it was ever public, which is one reason St. Louis won the Rams settlement money, which Sam Page wants to waste to try to balance the budget in St. Louis County.
Yeah, don't fix the issue, just the Band-Aid, right? Because if you don't make cuts, which they did pass some cuts, but not enough. But if you just say, here's some money to pay it off. Okay, well, guess what? The next year you're going to have the same deficit.
Yep. That it's a problem. Anyway, I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. I thought that was interesting news. All right, Ethan, let's go ahead and get to our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist.
Bishop Ronald Hicks has been named the new Archbishop of New York by Pope Leo, replacing the retiring Cardinal Timothy Dolan, who was chosen by Pope Benedict in February 2009 after serving as Archbishop of Milwaukee.
Yep, St. Louis' own Timothy Dolan stepping down in New York. Apparently, it's age related. Like he hit the age of 75 or something like that. It was forced to step down. He's still a Cardinal. I don't know where he goes next. I don't know if he'd come back to St. Louis or not. We'll find out.
I believe that there were multiple people at Turning Point who are, as I have said many times, my exact words are, they are engaged in a cover-up of what happened to Charlie on that day.
Woo! Speaking of cuckoo, the Candace Owens, people are going to get mad at me for that one. I'm sorry. She was on with Piers Morgan last night talking about her conspiracy theories and denied that she said somebody inside of TPUSA might have played a role in his death.
I don't review those documents, so you're asking me to look at documents that I haven't for the first time. What I can tell you is that I allowed Mr. Wade to bill 160 hours a week, and then Mr. Wade would be the first one in the office making sure that my staff arrived. He corrected their behavior.
Oh, listen to that. Fannie Willis, a little mad. She's the one that tried to take down President Trump, failed miserably, got kicked out, removed, and now she's being prosecuted when they try to show her the documents how much money she paid her boyfriend, Nathan Wade. Who can work 160 hours a week? That's my question.
I know you have said in previous interviews, your focus is on 2026. You're not talking about 2028 yet, but I have to ask you, are you thinking about 2028?
I have not made any decisions about that.
No, Kami says she's not made any decisions about running again in 2028. She did, however, basically admit last night on late night TV that after she lost, she was doing some day drinking.
After the election, did you and Doug just start drinking?
We did. Let me just say that we definitely. It took us some time.
Isn't the campaign, the DNC, still paying off all the money that she spent on campaign where she was running for 107 days?
Where she was paying Oprah to put her on, and Beyonce paying all these people with money donated to help her win a presidential campaign. But don't worry, it wasn't her fault. It was Joe Biden's fault.
When was the last time you spoke with President Biden?
About 3-4 weeks ago.
Do you feel like that Joe Biden and his people did everything they could to help you win the election?
I write about that, as you know, and certainly I think we needed more time, and from certain places in the administration, we needed more support.
Republicans have mercilessly attacked.
She needed more support from the Bidens, just so you know. That's the reason she lost. She only had 107 days, and she didn't get enough support from the Biden administration. But she spent how many hundreds of millions of dollars and still hadn't paid it all back. She put the DNC in debt, and they're still digging out of that hole. So there you have it. Hey, I teased this story earlier. I just want to let you know. Libs of TikTok is an account on Facebook, right, where they go on and they expose all these liberals on TikTok. They got their hands on some of the DEI training that they put your Illinois State Police through if you live in Illinois. Get this. They're forced to comply with internal training material that has mandatory LGBTQ and DEI training, and if they don't do it, they can be fired. It's being forced on police officers in the state of Illinois. It includes training on made-up pronouns that you can get in trouble for not using proper pronouns, for misgendering people. Apparently, if you're in the Illinois State Police, you cannot investigate men and women's bathrooms. You have to promote LGBTQ activism at work. Promotions are race-based, anti-capitalist narratives, compulsion to disrupt oppression, and much more. And your tax dollars are being used to do this in Illinois law enforcement, thanks to the legislature and no doubt J.B. Pritzker. And they're calling for an investigation of all that. So that is on the Libs of TikTok webpage. I would play it for you, but it's showing the different pages. Somebody took snapshots of the different pages that these officers are forced to work through but there's only a music bed under it. It's nobody speaking, so it doesn't really work well on radio. But I'm just reading you a few of the pages that they were forced to comply with in order to remain as a Illinois State police officer. Apparently, just crazy stuff. It is. Coming up, we'll get to Shannon Bream, host of Fox News Sunday, and we'll talk to her about maybe what guests she's got lined up for Sunday and her reaction to the president's speech last night. Stay tuned.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, we've got an accident westbound 70 after Wentzville Parkway, and it's involving a tractor trailer that rolled over into the right median. So there is a jam behind that. If you are westbound on 70, that's what's going on. Now, there was an accident on eastbound 44. This one was approaching Jameson, and they had a lane blocked there as well. They've been working to get that one off to the shoulder. But it looks like they may have done that. They switched the direction of the camera. But we had some slow-moving traffic behind it. It's taking a minute to unwind. If you're eastbound on 64, just some volume around Clarkson, and then east of Lindbergh through Big Bend with westbound lining up at Clayton Skinker. Southbound 170 slow at 64. Northbound 55, some volume at Bayless, and a little bit of volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge, but it's not too terrible. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. Now, most of us have spent decades saving for retirement. We know to do that. But then you start to think about, how do I make that last for my entire retirement? And you realize, wait a minute, I do not have a written financial retirement plan in place. I've got to get on this. And that's where financial and tax architects come in. They put on a class called Retirement Planning 101, and it shows you what people miss, how to avoid hidden tax traps in 401ks and IRAs and when to take Social Security. And they do this. It's at colleges throughout the area. It's just one night. Oh, you will learn. And it's 2.5 hours. But if you're within 10 years of retirement, or even if you're already retired, this is something you ought to do. So call and register for a class, 314-888-5101, 314-888-5101. See how FTA works, and I'm guessing that you will want them to sit down with you and come up with a plan. It's really a good place to start.
Whether it's morning routines or weekends on the sidelines when the temperature drops, America brings the heat with Hot Hands. Hot Hands are America's favorite hand, toe, neck, and even body warmers to help you stay warm and cozy from head to toe. Hot Hands are fast-acting, they're long-lasting, and they are made right here in the USA. Look for the Hot Hands logo and the bright orange packages at your favorite store or online, and keep doing what you love out there with Hot Hands, warming up America coast to coast.
It's the season to come together over your holiday favorites at Starbucks. Warm up with a creamy caramel brulee latte, get festive with an iced gingerbread chai, or share a velvety peppermint mocha. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks.
Owe the IRS $10,000 or more in business or personal back taxes? Call the Tax Doctor now. Learn how to pay the IRS less. 800-430-3062. 800-430-3062.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath.
Ask most contractors about a kitchen or bath remodel, and you'll get similar answers.
So how long?
About 2 months.
Longer than that.
3 days.
Longer than... Wait a minute, what?
3 days.
3 days?
3 days or less. With 3-day kitchen and bath, you get a new kitchen or bath finished with top quality products and craftsmanship, all in 3 days or less guaranteed.
No eating out because my kitchen is in shambles for a month?
Nope.
No borrowing the neighbor's bathroom for weeks on end?
You'll have a whole new look in 3 days or less.
And those other guys?
They want our web address.
Hey, what's your web address?
See?
A lot of people will.
Just visit 3daykitchen.com. 3daykitchen.com.
3 days?
3 days. Yeah, isn't that something? 3-day kitchen and bath. Simply amazing.
3-day kitchen and bath.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
It's the best time of
For the last 4 years, the United States was ruled by politicians who fought only for insiders, illegal aliens, career criminals, corporate lobbyists, prisoners, terrorists, and above all, foreign nations, which took advantage of us at levels never seen before.
Get up, baby! Get up!
There's only one Shannon. Shannon Bream, host of Fox News Sunday. All right, we've got Shannon on the phone this morning. Not much to talk about, huh, Shannon?
Just another slow news day in the United States of America.
It's true. You know, I played a clip from the president's speech last night. He's giving $1776. I wonder where he came up with that number in dollars to the U.S. military, and I'm thrilled by that. I think that's fantastic. I'm just sorry for him that he didn't wait a day because he could have announced that the inflation rate came in lower than expected and the stock market's taken off like a rocket ship.
Yeah, and that's got to be great news for the White House because, you know, they've had a mixed bag on economic news. And frankly, with the government shutdown, we've been missing some of the sources we would normally get to get some of the economic data. But that cooling of inflation has to be excellent news for the White House because affordability is the thing. And that's why the president addressed the nation last night saying grocery prices and all these things, we're working on them. They're coming down. So, yeah, they got to be happy about the news they got this morning.
I'll bet they are. You know, the president I watched a couple of the left-leaning new websites this morning. Of course, they're mad at him for blasting the Biden administration and past presidents for not doing anything on trade for all those years or the border. And I was kind of, for one, I'm glad he's out there reminding people of that because it overshadows the accomplishments he's achieved the last 10 or 11 months when the mainstream media is only parroting this affordability issue. He's gotten an amazing amount of stuff done in 11 months when you think about it.
Yeah, and all of those things are intertwined. I mean, he talked about the fact last night that when you deal with the immigration issue, you're going to do things like, he said open up more housing and do things that really have a direct impact on the economy. So he tried to weave all those things together. He's been out there on the road doing this in Pennsylvania. He'll be in North Carolina on Friday. So he wants to remind people about, as you said, so much that's gotten done in 11 months. Now, if you're not a fan of his, you don't like it. But if you are a fan of his or you're hoping the economy will turn around, he wants you to get this message.
Very true. You know, I was wanting to ask you because there's so much question about the legality of these boat strikes, and you've still got people talking about war crimes and blah, blah, blah. And I think it might have been Senator Mark Wayne Mullen I heard the other day just chewing him up off of this. He goes, where were you when Barack Obama was throwing these drone strikes around and killing like 35, I think he said 3,500 people during his administration.
It was a huge number. And when you remember, too, that there were huge controversies over the fact that, at least some of those people were American citizens and had attachments to this country. I mean, can you imagine if something like that happened under President Trump? You got to think about what the mainstream media reaction would be. And like with so many things and so many policies and so many foreign policy decisions, domestic decisions, the media will look at them differently based on who's in the White House. That's just a fact of what's happening in Washington and more broadly with the mainstream media. So, I thought when Senator Mullen brought up those numbers, I was like, wait a minute, I need to run those numbers, which I haven't done yet. But I mean, they sound so high. They're almost unbelievable, especially when you look at, all of the debate around Venezuela. And to me, this is the ultimate D.C. Rorschach test. People will come out of these briefings, and tell us two different things. Completely justified, completely unjustified war crimes. D.C. feels more partisan than it has, certainly in the 20 years I've been covering it. But, nothing seems to be bipartisan.
I think your former colleague Tucker Carlson came out yesterday and claimed the president was going to use that speech last night to announce that he was about to do some ground invasion of Venezuela. I don't know where that came from. That's not what the president said, but I think we're going to see maybe some targeted strikes somewhere in that country before long. Are your sources telling you anything about that?
Well, the president has been very clear that may be the next step. And so it is going to renew this debate over whether this has turned into a quote unquote war that requires congressional authorization. There certainly seems to be a showdown between President Trump and Maduro. that is building. What they are reporting on the latest, crackdown is not only we're going after drug trafficking, human trafficking, gold trafficking, oil trafficking. I mean, these are the things that have allowed Maduro to stay propped up and stay in power and continue to do what he does in Venezuela. They have some very rich natural resources. But if they're dealing in them illegally and that's funding their ability to stay around, President Trump is really tightening the screws, saying, you're not going to have those options anymore. So is this about regime change? That may be a byproduct, but is it the goal? That is a different conversation the president would have to have with Congress if that's what he's actually trying to do.
I don't know if you would know the answer to this question, Shannon, but I remember I think it was one of the reporters from Fox, maybe Peter Doocy, who was asking Caroline Leavitt about the oil that was seized from that tanker. And he's like, hey, can you use that money to help Americans with affordability? Is there any sort of a restriction to your knowledge on what could come of that, what could be done with it?
Well, just like any time that you are on the international stage and you're talking about seizing assets from another country, and there's a lot of discussion with this going on with respect to Russia seizing their assets in order to help Ukraine or to fund Ukraine's war. I mean, there are a lot of different international bodies that are going to want to get involved with that conversation. So I think that we need to hear a lot more from the administration about where that money goes and how we're able to use it, or if it's simply that we're creating this blockade so that it doesn't flow in illegal trade to other countries.
Yeah, it's a good point. Shannon, what are your plans for Christmas?
Well, my family is in Florida. I'm born and raised down there. And unfortunately, my dad has been in and out of the hospital quite a bit. So we are going to have a quiet Christmas with them and just celebrate that we still have each other, and just grateful for God's mercy in sending his son to save us.
Amen. Well, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Thank you for all you do for us.
Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
All right. We'll see you, Shannon Bream, there from Fox News Sunday, and heading down to sunny Florida. Not a bad idea. I know some people that are down there right now. Where it's much warmer than it is up here. But I'll tell you what, man, I'm not going to complain. It was 50 this morning, and I think the temperature's going to drop all day long. But
down to the 20s tonight.
It could be 50 or 60 on Christmas Day, from what I'm hearing.
I don't actually love that.
I don't love it,
weird.
But if the kids are going bonkers, they can at least get outside.
True.
It's not freezing out there. Coming up, we'll find out where in the world our friend Griff Jenkins is, and if he knows anything about former second guy Doug drinking after the election. We'll be back in just a minute.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisor Group. As a family-owned business, we'd like to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We grew up right here in St. Louis, part of a large family, and that's what makes the holidays so special. The things we hold in our hearts, not in our hands. It's the people, family, friends, and personal relationships that grow stronger with the passing of time.
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw. In the past 39 years, we have become part of many lasting relationships, and we have made a lot of friends in and around St. Louis that just can't be taken away. So, as we turn the page and put yet another year in the books, let's remember to be good to one another. And for those of you who have lost loved ones, our hearts go out to you. Here's hoping next year will bring even more joy and blessings to all of you. And remember the important things to be thankful for. From all of us at the Retirement Advisory Group and from our family to your family, we'd like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I'm Dr. Nick Barnes at Health From Within Family Chiropractic in Rock Hill. At Health From Within, our mission is to transform the way you manage your health by bringing you the truth about health and healing. We use proven techniques to remove interference in the nervous system and maximize health naturally, without drugs or surgery. Connect with me at healthfromwithinstl.com and join me for Maximize Living on this station every Sunday at 8 a.m. or download the Maximize Living podcast, healthfromwithinstl.com.
We, without hesitation, recommend that anybody work with ThrottleNet. The experience will be as good as it's been for us, for anybody, because you'll get a true partnership and you'll be able to rest easy that you're going to get the service that you need while they're also doing all those things that you don't want to have to think about, that you don't want to have to worry about. They're always doing that in the background for you.
Don't wait for your next IT crisis. If your business depends on technology, you need a partner that's got your back. Contact ThrottleNet.com to get a free IT evaluation and see how we can support your IT everything.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. The Financial Times reports that Sue Kim, founder of the New York hedge fund Standard General, has been in talks over potentially buying or investing in the Warner Brothers Discovery television networks. German airline group Lufthansa has vowed to start making its ambitious turnaround plan a reality in 2026 as investors remain skeptical at the end of another mixed year under chief executive Carsten Spohr. Since Spohr took the helm in 2014, the group shares are down around a third. Darden Restaurants reported strong demand for Olive Garden and Longhorn Steakhouse. The restaurant company also raised its full-year outlook for revenue growth for the second straight quarter. Olive Garden accounted for roughly 44% of Darden's quarterly sales and reported same-store sales growth of 4.7%. Futures are moderately higher after a lighter-than-expected CPI report. On Wednesday, the Dow Industrials lost 228, the Nasdaq down 418. That's your money now.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, the accident involving a rollover tractor-trailer westbound 70 before David Hochul Parkway, they have shut down all lanes here for a minute to try to get this cleared and get this righted. But in the meantime, we've got some heavy traffic behind it. Now, eastbound 70 looks fine from out west into downtown. 64 has some volume east of Lindbergh through Big Bend, and then it opens up. But that's jammed up southbound 170 trying to merge onto eastbound 40. And westbound 64, a slow go approaching Clayton Skinker through 170. We've got northbound 55 still slowing at Bayless, and a slowdown westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com. Or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25 plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, IGotFloor.com.
Wishing you a wonderful holiday season filled with joy and laughter. May your new year bring happiness and success. Cherish every moment with family and friends. From your friends at Kaufman Townsley, St. Louis's injury lawyers.
This holiday season, when you get them STIHL, batteries are included. Buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit STIHLUSA.com for gift ideas and seasonal savings. Happy holidays from STIHL. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Still leading 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Out of all the reindeer, you know you're the mastermind.
After the election, did you and Doug just start drinking?
We did. Let me just say that we definitely, it took us some time.
In Kyiv, Ukraine, Griff Jenkins, Fox News. Along the southern border, Griff Jenkins, Fox News. At the White House, Griff Jenkins, Fox News. In St. Louis, Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
Tell me where in the world is
Griff Jenkins. Watch your back. All right, buddy, you are spinning partners with former second man Doug. Did you see any evidence of hangovers when he was on the spin cycle?
Well, he had trouble keeping up. And let me just say, by the way, that I am calling you still sweating. I just got out of an 8:30 to 9:30 class, and I'm not sure if the world has changed. Every now and then you take a step back and you wonder, what the hell is going on? I go to bed last night watching President Trump deliver a absolutely on-script, short, delivered, focused speech to the nation, nothing off the cuff. Wake up, walk into SoulCycle, and they're playing Fernando by Cher and the entire Mamma Mia soundtrack. I'm like, what alternate universe have I entered right now? Meanwhile, I just finished watching last weekend Phil Rivers throwing touchdowns in the NFL again. So I'm taking a step back, although I will say this. Happy birthday, Kim. You shared the birthday with my dog, Rascal.
Hey, there we go.
Nice.
Thank you.
I'm celebrating both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got her some donuts in honor of her birthday this morning, and our friend from Donut Delight made the letters. I don't know if you saw that on her social media or not, but she got a big 36 for her birthday today, and she refuses to eat it. She's going to take it home and share it with her family.
I love it. I love it, as you should. Well, listen, I love December babies. I just hit double nickels, so I'm feeling your the best part about
happy
having
belated.
Birthday,
yeah, great.
Having a birthday so close to Christmas, basically the whole month is just, all about you.
She was due. You were due.
I was due on
Christmas
Eve. I was due Christmas Eve. I'm really glad that I came early. But yeah, no, it's true. It kind of gets overshadowed, and I don't really care about that now. But as a kid, that was really hard. But yeah, Griff, were you surfing for your birthday? Was that last week?
I did. I'm going to make a recommendation to every one of our great listeners at 97.1 FM, and that is do one thing this holiday season that you wouldn't do normally because you get caught up in the busy hustle and bustle, but you'll never forget it. I spent my birthday, I flew down for 24 hours to see my 93-year-old mom and just talked about when I was born 55 years ago, and we looked at old pictures and just, taking that moment, the things that really matter in life. And I did sneak off because she lives in Florida for about 2-3 hours, and they had some huge waves, got some surfing in, and spent time with mom. So for all our listeners, call your mom if you still got her, or spend some time, because we get so caught up in the hustle and bustle.
Boy, that's the truth. It really is. What part of Florida is that, Griff?
She's down in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they got surfing kind of waves down there, except during hurricanes.
Usually not, but there is this cold front going through. And, all these Floridians are down there shivering. I'm like, it's 68 degrees. This is warm.
You got your board shorts on ready to go, right?
Exactly. So there are a lot of ways there. So I could have stayed a little longer, but alas, I am going to talk to you and then go hop on a train and head to New York. And you're going to get awfully tired of seeing me filling in over the holidays.
Oh, I love it when you fill in for Killmead. And are you doing any radio over the holidays?
I don't know yet. It's funny. I am apparently the last person to know what my schedule is. I don't know if that's by design that Fox thinks that's exciting, but my suspicion is the answer will be yes.
So we know Griff is in town. We know we've got him as a captive in New York. Let's throw him on the couch for overtime. We'll get him on the Killmead show. We'll book him on one of the other weekend shows since he's there anyway. Is that kind of how that works?
Exactly. But, it'll be interesting to see what news we get. I got to tell you, I did think that we would get a little something on Venezuela last night, but we didn't. I mean, clearly the White House said, let's get a focused economic speech. Now we see inflation apparently cooling just a little bit, so perhaps appropriate that he was able to give that focused speech. But, we haven't seen one of those from President Trump in a long time, and it just shows you that, everybody in the Washington elite class is like, oh, did you see the Susie Wiles Vanity Fair? She's trashing everybody. No, let me show you a chief of staff who has had more discipline and control over their boss than any perhaps in modern history. Susie Wiles knew that President Trump needed to give a focused, direct message on economic agenda to the nation, even though he's doing this cross-country tour now. He was in Pennsylvania, and then he goes to North Carolina, I think, next week. But ultimately, the fact is that Susie Wiles was able to get him to do that was really quite remarkable amidst everybody caught up in the hullabaloo in Washington of some Vanity Fair spread.
Yeah, I speaking of New York, I'm watching an interview the other day with Zohran Mamdani, and I was the guy it's just like he's from another planet. I was watching him do this interview, and with a dead straight face, he argued that by making 5 bus routes free in New York, they reduced assaults on bus drivers by 38%. So honestly, that was his excuse for why it would be a good idea to let everybody ride the bus for free, because fewer drivers would get assaulted, instead of cracking down on the people who are bold enough to strike a bus driver because they don't like how much it cost them to ride the bus. This is the mentality of this guy.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And by the way, here's something to keep your eye on. It's not getting a lot of national news yet, but you're about to see the rise of Mamdani candidates. And Mamdani is starting to campaign for a New York City comptroller who initially was challenging him in the mayor's race as a far-left socialist progressive named Brad Landner, I believe is his last name. But he now has declared and is going to try and primary sitting Congressman Dan Goldman, who you remember is as far left as they come. And yet he wants these candidates to go even further left. And that's really the battle for the soul of the Democrat Party right now. And he is going to try and be a kingmaker in that race.
Wow. Well, I mean, nothing that he's going to do surprises me. I really expect it to happen. It's going to hit St. Louis next. That's what's going to happen. We're going to get some Mamdani type character running for. We probably already have one at the Board of Aldermen, to be honest with you, running the Board of Aldermen, but running for mayor. I'm guessing that's coming next to St. Louis and other big cities.
Of course it is. Why St. Louis? Because that's the heart of America.
Yeah.
That's exactly where they want to plant the flag. They planted it in New York City, and that was an easy lift. Now they want to make it count where you're in the heart of America.
What was it, the statistic I read this morning, some study that found it was like 45% of people 18 to 29 support socialism? And I mean, that clearly is true when you look at Zohran Mamdani being elected, like you just said, Griff.
Yeah, and the real, and we've talked about this on Fox, and you guys have probably talked about it too, is that what's so chilling about that stat is, while I believe it to be actually accurate, the backdrop, the context of it is that most of those youngsters don't understand what it is that they support when they call it socialism.
Yeah.
And that's the scary part of it.
That's a good point. So, Griff, I think last year around the holidays, because you were doing so much fill-in work, you brought your family to New York, didn't you?
You know, I will say the Jenkins women, the 2 daughters in their 20s and wife, who we've dubbed the long-suffering Mrs. Jenkins, because of my crazy schedule, she stuck with me for God knows why all these years. But they are coming up, and so it is going to be a shopping Broadway sort of thing, and Dad is going to duck out at every turn to go to bed early. We have to see 2 hotel rooms, one for the Jenkins girls who stay out all hours and go crazy, and then one for Dad who has to wake up at 3 a.m.
Yep, we feel your pain, brother. Hey, have a safe trip, okay?
Hey, sounds good, and happy birthday, Kim. You guys have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, Griff. We appreciate it. Good to get just out of his Soul Cycle class. For those of you that wondered why I asked him about Doug Emhoff used to do that Soul Cycle class with him pretty regularly. Not that they were big buddies or anything, but he would see the first second gentleman in the Soul Cycle, which is basically a spinning class that he does there in Georgetown. And I would guess the Secret Service would be in there watching and everything to make sure nobody bothered him.
Having everyone with the suits and the glasses just staring at you, making sure nothing's going to happen.
According to Cammie, they had a lot to sweat off. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ba-dum-bum. All right, we're going to be back. We'll talk more about Bongino's resignation. I haven't talked about it a lot today, but it could be good news for Andrew Bailey. We'll be back in just a minute.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, we did get a little bit of rain, the first round along 55 this morning, so take care in that area. And the accident westbound 70 approaching David Hochul Parkway, they've got the right lane blocked and traffic is stacked up there. Eastbound 70, though, is in good shape into downtown. 6440, some volume east of Lindbergh through Big Bend, with southbound 170 slow, ramping on to eastbound 6440. And there's some volume in both directions on the Poplar Street Bridge. That's mainly due to some road work. And westbound 64 slowing at Clayton Skinker. It looks better after McCausland. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, it's Annie. Christmas is a time of hope. It's a time of excitement, and it's also a time to be still. Merry Christmas to you from my family, from my kiddos, from our family here on the Annie Fry Show. God's peace.
No one remembers the tie, the sweater, or the pair of socks they received last year for the holidays, but they will remember the year they learned how to play the piano. Hi, this is Kathy from Lacefield Music. And every year in January, Lacefield Music opens their exciting and innovative 8-week adult piano classes to the public for the incredible price of only $29.99 for all 8 weeks. This class is usually $100, but in January, the classes will be $29.99 for all 8 weeks. With Lacefield Music's adult piano classes, you will learn how to read music, play your favorite songs, and you will play with both your right and your left hand the very first week. This year, instead of buying your loved one more things, buy them an experience and fulfill the dream of learning to play the piano. Class sizes are limited and are filling fast, so call 636-778-2070 for more information or go to lacefieldmusic.com. That's lacefieldmusic.com to sign up.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you.
You know, there's a certain way we do things around here. The Grasser way.
The Grasser way?
We don't cut corners and we don't take shortcuts. Not on the little stuff and not on the big stuff.
We do the big stuff.
That's right. Whole home generators that kick on the moment the grid gives up. Lights stay on, heat stays on, your family stays safe. So your house stays warm.
And your ice cream stays frozen.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
Give the best of Broadway right here in St. Louis. Muni season tickets are on sale now, just in time for the holidays. Our 2026 season includes Hairspray, Shrek the Musical, South Pacific, Disney's Newsies, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations, Meet Me in St. Louis, and Something Rotten. See all 7 shows starting at just $126. For tickets, visit muni.org.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Cutting through the spin. This is the Marc Cox Morning Show. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
And in addition, we have been briefed and we have read the analysis which shows time and again that law enforcement officers have been taken off their duties to provide border security, to investigate drug crimes, to investigate crimes involving children. So this isn't about making people safe and secure. It's about scaring them. This is a reign of terror, and I appreciate the work of everyone behind me.
This is a Democratic congressman named Quigley, Representative Mike Quigley, who is a U.S. representative. He had Pramila Jayapal and a bunch of other lefties with him, and they were at some press conference to complain about ICE. And here's the problem. The guy suggests that our ICE officers are terrorists. Did you hear that? He suggested that what they're doing is a reign of terror by enforcing the laws of the United States of America, laws that the Congress he is a member of passed. Now, it may not have been a vote he took, but whatever the immigration laws are in the country were passed by Congress. And that's what's being enforced. And you've got these mental midgets, because that's what they are, who stand in front of a camera and make things up. And who knows what kind of nut job out there might act on that, right? I mean, here you've got the president saying, narco-terrorists, we kill narco-terrorists. And this guy's comparing ICE officers to terrorists. Who knows what kind of violence he might be causing or engendering or planting in the mind of these idiots that would take up arms against a police officer. I had to play that for you because sometimes I just can't believe how far the left in this country is willing to go to try to win a political argument. They care more about people who aren't residents of this nation than they do the constituents who elected them to office. And it just sickens me. I can't believe we're in this. There are people in this country who act that way. I'd love to just for 3 months send them over and make them live in one of the countries where maybe Somalia, where it's completely lawless and everybody gets killed. I mean, it's unbelievable, the violence over there. Let them go live there for 3 months and then come back and report to me on how great things are. It's crazy. Did you hear the Bongino news yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I reached out to a friend of mine who's in the know and is actually in Washington, D.C. right now. And I'm like, I just heard that Dan Bongino might retire or resign. He said, well, there's been some talk, maybe next year sometime. And not 20 minutes later, just the news broke the story that Bongino is resigning from the FBI in early January. I guess the president hinted that he wanted to go back and do radio again.
But do you think it was beef with Pam Bondi over the Epstein files? Because that's kind of what people are saying is the cause of this.
I think it's probably a sense of frustration as much as anything. And if anybody's going to be honest about what it is, it'll be Dan Bongino. When he's done, what he can talk about. I mean, he'll be limited to not discussing top secret stuff that he encountered when he was at the FBI. Or details about ongoing investigations. That's what it'll be toughest for him to go back into talk radio, because he's got a brain full of things that the general public doesn't know right now that he won't be allowed to talk about. Maybe he can hint at it, but he can't talk about it.
So here's the question, though. Is Dan Bongino the first domino to go down, and now this creates some ripple effect? Is Kash Patel going to be the next one?
Well, there have been rumors about Patel for a while. And I don't know where the president stands on that. I think he's maybe a little bit frustrated at the pace of some of these investigations that we know are underway. But I still don't have any reason to think he doesn't have confidence in Kash Patel. What I do see, though, is a very viable candidate in Andrew Bailey, who will soon be the only deputy in charge of the deputy director of the FBI.
But it wouldn't be, in my opinion, it wouldn't be Trump saying, hey, Kash, you're out. It would be Kash making the decision that he wants to go.
I don't know. I don't think that's true.
You think Trump forced out Bongino, or I think Bongino made the decision, right?
I think Bongino made the decision. I think he's frustrated by what he can impact, right? And I heard somebody report this morning that normally that's a position held by a career FBI person who knows how, where all the bodies are buried, basically at the FBI. Maybe he's encountered enough resistance that he's just sick of it. I mean, I hate to think that, because I think you need an outsider in that role, or you never get to some of the real problems plaguing the politics within that organization. So I think we needed somebody like him in there. Hopefully, if the only person that's left standing in that position is Andrew Bailey, then you get that. He was a great prosecutor. And he was a great attorney general in the state of Missouri, and I think he would be the one to maybe shake things up a little bit. He won't give up, I can tell you that. I'm not suggesting. I don't know why Bongino's leaving. But when Bailey was given that role, I thought it was because Bongino was maybe on his way out. And now that's happened, and maybe they knew about it, maybe they didn't. Maybe he's the next FBI director. I don't have any inside information on that. I just think it'd be a good move if that role opens up. All right, that does it for us for a Thursday. The Kilmeade Show coming up next. And, of course, Annie and Mark fill out the rest of the day. Have yourselves a great Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow morning.